retrospectively, it means Mem is going to be very happy as well. It's Pog.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
No, I
me
mean,
happy.
I love this. Yeah, that we don't have to wait on bated breath.
I think we should be. I think we should be good in terms of
Yeah.
restarts. I don't see any reason why someone would go for
Yeah,
them here.
I don't so much either. Looks like everybody's TC timings are going to be pretty good. I mean, yeah, and the Vietnamese team already used their right? So we're not worried about like something when the
Yeah.
TCs get revealed. Valessa, though, look at this far left corner. Primo spot.
Yep. A little bit awkward. Oh, look at Max. Max is actually bringing... That's not Valessa's Vel. That's Max
Oh,
bringing it in for Valessa, and that's just beautiful teamwork.
that's wild. Well done. Well done.
So
Yeah, well, I mean, where's he going to send this Vil to? I love it. He's even going to just take food from it.
yeah, so you can drop off the resources in your ally TC, and we've seen this a lot in the previous Canada series. Like Slam just kept like villagers around Hera because he was Cumans, and he ended up building like 2 ranges to defend Hera like in feudal age. It was actually sick. Like I've never saw that
Very
before.
intriguing.
Of like keeping a Vil close to your opponent, like your ally, and just drop off the resources.
Yeah, hell yeah. Meanwhile, we've got Valis over here already with 9 goats as the Gurjaras player.
Bloody
Teammates sending the goats over, so he'll get the instant garrison there with the mill up, early mill. And already some... Man, he'll have so much food. Look at this. 2 pawns near his TC, plus the berries. He's got Hunt close by and already garrisoned the sheeps. Just to the left of him is going to be Hera, as the Mongols quick onto the Hunt. So very solid start for him as well. But Hera's got to be careful because he can kind of get pinned against the side of the map here. Right? Like he's got a wall of opponents. Rubenstock, Valis, and Valessa kind of on all sides of him. So Hera could be in some trouble. Especially since they know where his TC is.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what he goes for here with Mongols. There's always like the temptation to go like FC into Mangadai or FC boom and then try and get into Mangadai. It just feels so slow. Such an open map. I think he'd try and make use of the Hunt and then go for a stable in feudal age, which is what Yo went for the FC boom the first time they played against Canada, and then the next time after he played African Crown, he went more for feudal age. I think map control, potential damage you can get is just so good.
Yeah. Rubenstock playing as the Koreans. Koreans just have such an ability to take over a nomad start game if they can get onto war wagons like unperturbed. And since he's nowhere close to any opponents, I feel like he'll have a pretty solid start and shouldn't have too much of a problem getting onto those wagons.
Yep, second elephant in already as well. Using the little goat to block. That's a top tier nomad trick.
Yeah, absolutely. That way you don't have to get that early loom. Look at Mentalist starting spot though as well.
I know, I'm just
he has a sweet double pond, like 2 pawns that turned it into 1. So TC on that double pond. He's got 2 elephants, 4 elephants close by actually. Holy crap. 1 already under the TC. And a mill up already. I'm going to struggle with Mentalist playing as Cyan with the Max in the game. Every time I see that, I just want to say the Max. But the Max is actually in the yellow over here, already with 2 elephants under his TC. Villagers onto fish as well. But he's the closest to any of their opponents. And we'll have to deal with both Chris and Slam, Chinese and Mayans. Very close to him.
Now that you've just mentioned the colors, now I'm thinking about it. So the top seeded team actually gets a choice to pick the color scheme. You know, 1, 3, 5, 7, or 2, 4, 6, 8. So
oh really?
Either Finland deliberately picked 2, 4, 6, 8, or Canada stole it from them. It's rather blasphemous not seeing Max in teal.
Right? It's like it's actually messing with my brain so much. I guarantee you multiple times throughout the cast today, I'm going to say the Max when I'm talking about Mentalist.
I'm like, I'm so used to seeing Valesse in blue, Valis in green. Happens a lot, and
Right.
Rubenstock always plays in grey.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, this will be a struggle in some regards. Look at these early walls from Ruben's stock, which honestly is a little strange to me. I mean, I guess he's just preparing for early feudal pressure, but they know where their opponent's TCs are, and he knows that no one's close to him, so he's playing ultra safe.
Yeah, maybe a little bit concerned with Mentalist. I guess opening stable makes the most sense for him.
Oh,
Looking,
definitely, yeah.
take a look at scouting. See, the Canada scouting's pretty good because they're like quite spread out. They might not have discovered where TCs are at this point, but they're pretty much ruled out a lot of areas where you're like the opponents are not, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably guessing at this point someone's down in this top left, like in the left hand side of the map, and then someone's down this kind of like southeast. See what the openings are. Range from Valis, stable from Hera.
Yep. And then Chris, stable as well.
Yep, that's what he went for last time with Chinese. Gonna have a nice
Okay.
economy lead here.
Mentalist stable, as we expected. He's building it with 3 villagers, too, so really wants to get scouts out onto the field quickly. Hera sees the spearman already here for Valis, and is now going to attempt to wall up his woodline. I like those walls a lot, just walling to the gold.
Yeah, not the easiest map to like wall with the wood
No.
lines in the middle, the baobab trees, there's like so many holes in it, so
Oh, man, I just have this feeling that Valessa is going to run over this game, though. Look at his pretty little base over here, the left-hand side, that nobody's going to find for ages. And he's all walled up. Wow, Chris going for monster walls, by the way.
yeah. Rest in there. Well, I'm on double
Double range.
as Mayans, and his range is in a funny place. It actually looks like he might want to move towards Villesse if they are going to go discover there.
Yeah, if
Just with the
they
position
know
of
that
him.
he's there. We do see, I was going to say, we see Chris's scout already making his way over that direction. So, yeah, could be scouts, archers just trying to lay waste to Valessa's base. We'll see what the Max chooses to do then. He now has 2 scouts onto the field with 2 more in the queue. So he could find some good damage on some of these villagers. But in the meantime, the Max's Ville on the left-hand side might be the first victim of the game, and she does fall to the 2 scouts.
Villesse might take some pressure. He's going to be going for Castle Age by the looks of it. Market coming up. He's on stone as well, so going to be going for Rathans.
Yeah.
They can be annoying to deal with. He's kind of, I guess he's not that far away from Hera.
He's not that far away from Hera, but Hera's base is so compact, I don't know how much damage you're going to find. And Hera's already produced skirmishers because Valis is going archers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if Hera's the best target for Rathans, and Rathans just take forever to get onto.
Alice taking some damage even on the wood line. Mentalist is over here as well.
Oh,
Heva's
wow.
also got 4 scouts. This is the
Oh,
issue.
7 scouts coming in. And an 8th as well here from Mentalist. They're just ignoring this archer. 1 Ville goes down already. A second one to follow. Possibly 3. No, not quite.
That's 5
Or yeah, no,
villagers.
there were 3 total. I see an extra woman on the ground.
5 villagers.
Oh,
5.
that's disastrous. Yeah, 21 villagers at the moment. Lowest on the field by a massive margin. And in fact, just Ville numbers across the board right now, much better for Hera's, or for Canada. I should rename this at the top for Canada. Castle Age, though, on the way for 2 of our Finland players. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Rubenstock's on stone as well, so he's also thinking about war
Valis
wagons.
just lost 3 more villagers.
God. This
Dude,
is the
he's
issue
down
with
to-
these wood lines.
Yeah.
You need to camp them with spears. Like, it's just... that's brutal.
That is so disastrous. And oh no, Slam's coming down with archers.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh no, you have walls, and that's fine against the scouts, but it's nothing against these archers. And Hera's just sitting there waiting with the scouts as well. Now 4 different villagers likely to go down.
Yep.
As a result, even the skirmishers coming over as well, so Valis won't be able to respond easily. He tries to run with the gold villagers, and they go down as Valis is out of the game. He's dead.
Yep. That's such beautiful team play between him and Hera as well, just coming to our side, camping the wood line. The villagers can't
Oh,
escape that easily. Even Valles was being pressured in the meantime as well, being forced into the defensive tower. Decided to leave though. He will get onto a castle soon enough, but castle delayed a little bit with that defensive tower in the meantime.
yeah, so that's a good bit of damage to prevent the castle from going up immediately. Rubenstock, though, will get his castle up immediately upon hitting the castle age, so Korean War Wagon's going to be on the field soon. And that might be what they need to get back into this game, because from an economy perspective, even though you have 2 people in the castle age, you're hurting. Here we go. This might be some good damage by the Max. Over onto Slam. Does catch out 1 villager. The rest get walled in, so there's 3 idols at least over there.
Mm-hmm. I think
Castle
it's
on the way now for Valessa. Sorry, go ahead.
kind of unfortunate for Finland, like going unique unit with Koreans and Vietnamese in this situation where you're just so far away from anybody else. Ideally, you probably want to plop next to someone so you can like at least castle drop their face or something. And like Rattans are going to take a while to move out. War wagons aren't that mobile either.
Yeah, they're slow units, right? That's the thing. Is by the time the first Rattan is on the way, Mentalist will be castle age, and he can just go directly into knights.
Know your place, worm.
Yeah.
So in effect, in a weird way, Valessa didn't really beat him to anyone to castle age, right? Because it's more about the castle timing itself. But we do have 3 war wagons on the field, 4 now. They're just chasing scouts away at the moment. So not going to find much damage as of yet. I'm waiting to see a second stable dropped here by Mentalist. He's still on 1 as he's hitting castle age.
I wouldn't be surprised to just see the Mads and TCs as well. Just knowing how comfortable their position is.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the TC, right as you ask for it. Rubenstock and Valessa dropped TCs of their own, though. So, again, I think the game is going to rely on the 2 of them to get a lot of work done, considering that Valles isn't a part of this game anymore.
Yeah, and God, the economy difference, 17 already. It's nearly double military for Canada. I think there's too much value for going for feudal age on this map.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much. It's so hard to wall, like we were talking about. And then once you just group the melee and ranged units together, look at this too. Slam's got such great archer numbers. He can take this engagement against Rattans for now and keep them from finding too much damage. He is on the retreat at the moment, though, as we have more upgrades coming in.
Just wants to wait for Castle Age. Bod can get his crossbow now. Looks like Max did have some scouts in the north as well. Did find a couple of villagers from Chris, I think.
That's good. He's got plenty of spears in defense. He's done a very good job of defending his wood line against Chris's scouts, and does even find some damage there against the group of scouts that Chris has forward. Okay, now crossbows from Slam, finally working to deal with the scouts that are in the back of Chris's base. All the Castle Age players bringing up extra TCs. Harrow will move to 2. Slam moves to 2. Mentalist moves to 3.
Yep.
He also grabbed the light cav upgrade.
You can have extra food on the map. Makes a lot of sense. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the TC on the pawns, of course. Or TC on the wood line. It's not where you're going to pick your first one. War wagons are starting to swell. Look at 10 now. Terra's already got Elite Skarm researched. They're not the best in Castle Age versus war wagons. They certainly will warn them off on the meantime.
Yeah. They'll trade all right. That's at least removed 1 from the field. Rubenstock's going to go look elsewhere for damage. Oh my god, Mentalist. His knights onto Valles. Like, let the guy be. Tower went up on the wood line to try and protect it, but it's only 1 tower. That'll go down to the light cav and the knight soon. If that stone gets found, it's disastrous, and Slam has crossbows coming over right now, and very well might see that stone, and that could be another 8 villagers dead.
It's so risky what he's doing right now with that stone. I can't believe he's doing that.
I can't believe he's doing it either. He's getting away with it right now, and he's just going to turn tail and run because he knows he doesn't have a direct path back to the TC, but 4 villagers go down, plus the archers that he had. 5 villagers go down. He's at 23 villagers still.
I'm at 25. That's not a good sign. And he's
That is, yeah.
even going for the migration. Gonna
I
try and
think he
run.
has to, right? I mean, I at least appreciate that move because he's about to lose more archer or more villagers here on the pawns as well. We've got Rubenstock trying to come over with the war wagons to at least save a few of these villagers. And then, yeah, the full migration is happening north towards the Max's base. The Max has some camels out onto the field as well, but he has to deal with a 1v2 pressure right now. He's dealing with both knights and crossbows from Slam and Chris.
Why is Valis trying to run towards Max?
I don't know why he chose to go that direction. I would have run
so
towards
weird.
Rubenstock.
Like,
I would have run towards. Oh, he's diverting. Look, now he's
Yeah.
diverting. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, this is correct. You needed to run towards Rubenstock to begin with. He's the guy who has the military to defend anyway, plus a castle up that you could get your TC up on a wood line in the back there, which is what he's doing. He's placing a lumber camp within Rubenstock's base. In the meantime, I've seen nothing out of Hera recently, which is never a good sign because that means he's probably just full boom mode. And I don't think you want to give him that space to boom into the game as the Mongols.
Yeah, 56 fills now. Bless, on the other hand, on the left-hand side, he's just doing the exact same things in 4 TCs. He's in Castle Age first.
Yeah, 72
72
villagers, by the
already.
way. Wow. 62 villas for Rubenstock, so he's got a good boom, and Mentalist will match that with 62 villagers of his own. And so really, then you can compare the Max to Chris. They're 45-ish apiece, and really the big advantage is that Slam has twice as many villagers as Valis.
Yeah, and as this game goes later and later, especially when it comes to military counts and late Castle Age, Imperial Age, just being a player down is really problematic. Not going to make things easy at all. I love how safe Mentalist is playing this as well. He's got the stone balls coming up just in case the war wagons come over. They can be really annoying if they're in your economy. It's just such a shame for Valis here. It's not a good way to start a best of 7 series.
No, definitely not. This is going to hurt your mental, to say the least, just to have been destroyed to such a degree. I mean, look at him still trying to keep villagers alive around this tower. He put a second tower up, by the way, next to that crappy wood line, and Hera's just going to harass it with elite skirmishers. And the Max is going to need help soon here. This is a big knight camel army here from Chris. And the Max is very exposed. Got 4 TCs now for Chris, 4 TCs for Slam. I think Canada knows that they have this game won as long as they don't make any major mistakes.
Chris moving backwards now. A little bit concerned with the war wagons and camels. That is a serious amount of knight and camels from Delph, in fairness, but yes, as long as Slam just gets to Imp. I wonder if has he got a castle up yet? Might just stick on Arb. Or if he's gonna go for the Eagle switch.
Yeah, he does have 33 on food currently.
Have everything on gold. Easy.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, ton on food. Hera as well, 37 on food. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys are on their way to the Imperial Age in the next couple minutes. And then Valessa, really the only person who has that option on the other side, because right now, Rubenstock is having to do all the damage control. You can see him defending under his own TCs against knights and elite skirmishers, and so he's going to have to keep spending his resources to keep his numbers up.
It's not easy to do with war wagons. Having to do all these damage limitations, micro backwards. Super annoying.
Let's see your war wagons and camels, though, in the north. This could be some good harassment. But with 2 TCs there, I don't know if they're going to find too many villager kills, and Chris will respond with some camels of his own. Hera continues the harassment on Valis's wood lines, so then we'd look for Valessa to see what he's going to do. Villagers coming forward. This could be the answer for them. A forward castle, Imperial Age, and maybe he can start pushing Slam back.
Yeah, it's a 44
Where does it go?
food. He's got ballistics, he's got quite a few upgrades on his ratons. Does he maybe go for the hill here on the left-hand side? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm like where those 2 zebras are.
Yeah, I think he's gonna maybe go in between like the gold and stone, but that's very close.
No
to
way.
the range.
Where's he gonna go? I was gonna say with this mangonel up, he's got to rethink that. Okay, so he goes for the hill position. which is good. He can range Chris's TC to the to the north with Trebs. He can start working on the castle to the east. Hera got a castle up of his own to take down the TC from Valis, so Valis is going to have to replace that one finally. And Imperial Age is on the way for Hera, first of all players. So again, the Mongol player hasn't taken nearly any damage this game and is on the way to the Imperial Age.
Yeah, only one castle in the meantime, only 5 more on stone as well, so it's be the quickest thing getting to Mangadai numbers, but you're not going to need a lot of them, fairness.
Oh, the Max TC going to get denied in the north here as Chris finds 5 villagers trying to get that one up. So that'll be a good number of kills and a TC canceled. Ooh, triple siege workshop from Hera next to that castle. He has no chill right now. I think he's going to put the full push onto Valessa.
He really just going to open Onager here?
Quite possibly. Unless he wants to go Mangadai drill Rams.
Rams could make some sense as well, but it feels like, yeah, he's just going to open Siege. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's Rams. It's Rams.
Yeah.
Or at least one Ram. He's starting with a Ram. We'll see what else follows as Mangadai are in the queue. Villager-wise, we have a total of a 60-vill lead here for Canada over Finland. And another castle down from Valessa. Now 3 castles. Rubenstock just getting his second one up. Oh, we missed a castle battle to the right-hand side as well.
Ooh, we did. Neither of them look super close to clicking up. Mentalist maybe sell some wood or whatnot. I'm just really concerned for Valessa at home. This ram push is devastating.
Mentalist can definitely get to Imp before the Max can. Look at the Max. He only has 11 on food. 11 on food is the Hindustanis. That's no good.
I know you save a lot in the villagers, but come on.
That's it's not enough. But I mean, that's the product of having to be in that 1v2 for most of the game, right? He just hasn't had a chance to build out a food eco. All right, Imperial Age has arrived here for Valessa, so let's see what he decides to go for. He's got no military being produced. He hit Imp and immediately produced no Trebs. Just goes Bracer Chemistry, so maybe it's only Bombards. Oh, and Elite Rattan.
Yeah.
Okay, good call.
Another castle coming up from Hera now as well. Not looking... I mean, Finland have, like, military lead that are going to be, like, 2 players in Imp here.
Hera has Siege Ram on the way. Siege Ram on the way. 1 minute away with 6 Cap Rams already on the field, moving to the left-hand side. Valessa's entire military is forward right now. He has 2 Mangonels somewhere, or 1 Mangonel now. Okay, it's behind that castle. But the Mangadai could make quick work of that. And then he's got no response to deal with these Rams as soon as they become Siege Rams in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and the Mangadai numbers are certainly decent there. Okay, Drill's on the way now as well. Valis has got Operation Reboom on its way for sure now. Up to 33 villagers, Pog.
Yep, and yeah, 2 more TCs to get to 3. But while all that's happened, Siege Ram is in. You've got Mentalist on the way to the Imperial Age. He's even already making quick work of that castle from the Max with Castle Age Rams. And,
Okay, Slam is actually going for Elite Eagle this time.
Ooh.
The last time they played on African Clearing, he forgot Elite Eagle for the longest time. He was like spamming normal Elite Eagle wars across the map. But it was like,
oh wow,
the El Dorado, and it was still the worst thing was it was still doing the business for him.
Oh Jesus!
Didn't even need Elite.
Oh, the Rams come in. All right, here we go. The destruction begins. Drill Rams. Not too many Manganai, though, and the Rattan Archers are chasing them down. So if the Rattan Archers can buy space, the villagers can actually take care of all of these Rams. And we have an Onager on the field, at least one Onager.
Be another one on its way as well. How many castles are we going to lose here? 1?
That's a good question. Maybe
I think
only
we're going to
one.
lose 2 as well. I think we're going to lose both of them.
Yeah, he lost that Onager to a Ram. If he didn't lose that Onager, I would maybe believe he only loses 1 castle, but... 2 Onagers to work with.
Might have to nuke some of his own bills, but the one in the left does go down. Yeah,
no repairs. Yeah. So 2 castles down. And now his entire eco is exposed. So even though he still has 2 more castles to produce Ratans from, they're forward castles. So Valesa's in a really tough spot now. But can Rubenstock make something happen here on the other side? Can he pinch onto Hera here in the Imperial Age? Maybe the Korean player can get it done.
Onager on the way though for Hera. And that should do a pretty good job of stopping the war wagons, I think, in its tracks.
Yeah, Treb coming forward though to start with the pressure.
Yeah. El Dorado coming in for a slam now, and it's just going to be a nightmare for Finland to deal with once they start streaming all over the map. And like, Finland's eco is still pretty open. Like, there's some castles here and there, but good luck stopping
Yeah,
the
but
Eagles,
even Elite Eagles, right, with full armor, exactly, they can go under castles for a bit. The Max replacing a castle, but he's already under Treb pressure and not on the way to Imperial Age yet. So it feels a lot. It feels like a 2v4, essentially. It's Valesa and Rubenstock trying to make it all happen right now.
Yeah, Cavalier just all over. For Mentalist at this point now as well.
Here come the Elite Eagles.
Beautiful.
Few Mangadai. They will be able to deal with the Trebs. We can even maybe stop this castle. No, castle goes up. So another castle position here for Rubenstock. 4 in total on the map. And he does have decent numbers. But the Eagles are just going to overwhelm.
Honestly, just send the Eagles to raid, I think. Which I think Slam's going to do with this other little ass behind.
Yeah, he's even sending in just like a trickle from the north.
Something the right
things
hand
like
side
that
as well with Mentalist.
Yeah, Mentalist
Really nice.
is now rating the Max under TCs with Cavalier.
Mentalist also in Rubenstock now. This is res for Paladin. It's not that close, but he's got 50 on gold. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Slam's now pushing back Valesa's 2-castle position in the north as well with, Jesus, something like 30 Elite Eagles up there.
Utrecht behind it as well. And make quick work of that.
Yeah, we've also got Elite Mangadai coming in. This one feels done and dusted here.
Yeah, eco lead starting to grow now. 60 bells ahead.
Yeah, well, and Chris's imp, right? Chris is now bringing a Treb towards the Max. So the Max is getting pushed on both sides. By Mentalist and by Chris.
Yeah.
Slam is dealing with Valesa at this point. Although Valesa, actually, big Cav numbers coming to clear the Trebs. And they'll deal decently with the Eagles. So a bit of a stall there on Slam's push. But that's still giving Hera time to find a new position as well. With Onagers, Trebs, Siege Rams.
Elite
placing
Mangadai.
Another castle. And Elite Mangadai.
And Elite Mangadai now, which Hera's just got away with so much. It feels like he's not really been pressured all that much.
Yeah, again, like, if we go all the way back to the beginning in the TC placement, right? Like, you're the team with Vietnamese. You knew that Hera was kind of pinned against the edge of the map there. Like, Valis was close. Rubenstock and Valesa could have done something in Feudal, and they prioritized going to Castle, and that ended up leaving Valis out to dry when I feel like they could have abused Hera instead.
Never a good sign when you get to like minute 50 and like Mongols have had a relatively easy run of it, you know.
Exactly.
Started to get to the death ball.
Can't give them that free boom. Yeah, even the Eagles are just dealing with the Cav now.
Slam just trying to raid a little bit and bless. Military count still doesn't look dreadful. Brisket halves now into max. What about Valis? He's up to 100 bells.
Okay. But he's still Castle Age, right? So he's building a castle now. Probably by the time that goes up, since he's only building it with 5 villagers, he'll be close to clicking in terms of resources and could buy a little bit of food if need be, but it just might be too little too late. Gujara's definitely very powerful civ if they can get onto those Shivramshas. And an amazing raiding unit. Look at this, though. Valesa's putting up an amazing defense 1v2, to be honest. Using Light Cav to push back the Elite Mangadai and the Onagers. And then keeping the Ratans close to the castles. But Elite Eagle Warriors, over time, are going to win this battle.
Yeah, it's almost like an easier situation for him, where he's kind of having everything Just come through the one direction where he's defending, but Max on the other end. Oh my god, he's got Chris on the left-hand side, and he's got Mentalist on the right, and it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2v1 there as well, and Paladin's going to be on the way for Mentalist now.
Right, he's fighting Halbs with camels, man. That's never a good sign.
That's
never a good
brutal.
sign. Okay, Rubenstock coming over with 25 war wagons to try and help the Max out right as Heavy Camel comes in. We'll be able to get these Trebs off the field, but unfortunately, the Max he's just got no structures anymore. Look at all these villagers. He's got 110 villagers, but they've got nowhere to go.
Yeah, not going to achieve too much. Afraid.
He's running with 90 villagers right now.
And, yeah, not good.
Yeah,
Really not good.
yeah.
Okay,
That's got to be the GG.
Valis is clicked, so I don't know if they're maybe waiting to somehow get Valis in the game.
That's probably what they're relying on, is him get to Imp and kill somebody immediately. But even then, like, what's he producing?
Nothing at
He
this
has
moment.
one stable,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then a second castle coming up.
Max lost the best part of 40 villagers in this migration.
Right, he's just running through his
Running
opponent's
everything. Yikes.
map, being chased by Helms. The Paladin tech is in as well here for Mentalist.
Know your
They've overrun the
place.
north of the map. They just own so much of the map at this point. They own probably, what, 70% of it?
Canada just have all the mobility, man. That's the thing. They have Paladin, they have Mangadai, they have Elite Eagle.
Oh, onager shots on. Okay, Valessa,
Close.
he sees it. He sees it. But, dude, look at Harris just creeping forward with castles, right? Like, pinning Valessa in against the side of the map. The Max is dropping new TCs in the back of Alice's base. Okay, it is Shrivampshire Riders. We do have 9 stables for the Gajar player, 10 stables. But right as he starts producing, the GG is called.
Oof.
Canada with a very nice win.
Very, very nice. I think these civs they did prioritize in the draft, but in the end had a lot more. They had so much more ability than Finland, and like
Yeah.
these two unique unit civs in a situational like how effective they're going to be on a map like this. Even if you go for a big boom with Vietnamese, you're going like you have to go for Cavalier for a while. Just a bit like the very meh with Vietnamese.
Yeah.
War wagons just not. Well, sure, once you get a mass of them, it's nice, but it's not the fastest thing either. Hmm.
Know your place.
Well, Valis got
Worm.
absolutely destroyed. He's going to need to completely mental reset for game 2. Wipe that one from your brain.
For sure.
Because that one as well, already going out for a boar. This is going to be a fantastic start for Valis. Now, Mentalist has a similar situation where he is kind of off in no man's land as well as the Burmese player. So another castle civ or a Rambai can get a lot done because he's got Chris as a buffer between him and any opponents, essentially. Ruben Stock as well. Has a decent position, not too close to anyone. So really a lot of the action, I think, in Feudal, right, is going to center around these 4 players to the northwest here. We've got Valessa and the Max on the flanks of Hera and Slam. Which, honestly, I don't know. Like, I feel like the Max is objectively in the worst position because he just has so little space. But the idea that the Max and Valessa could technically pressure from the sides and Ruben could pressure from the bottom against these 2 TCs could end up being bad for Canada.
Let's see. I think for Max, you should have a really solid eco as Malians. You should get off to a faster start. You can see Hera is bringing
already
in
got-
that boar, so that's kind of nice. They're actually, their docks are right next to each other as well. That's funny.
Yeah.
A little bit further north.
The Max has 2 fishing ships. That's the Malian's bonus, right?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you know, because of the wood bonus. He's already got 2 fishing ships out, which is awesome.
I don't understand why is Hera not got a fishing ship out yet?
good question.
This is really weird. Now, he's not particularly known as being a nomad player, so this might honestly be just some inexperience in terms of Dark Age, which is crazy to think about. You know, one of the top players in the world, but a lot of these top 1v1 players just don't play nomad.
Yeah, he's like he's over prioritizing food from villagers because he actually had 2 vills in the queue. He only has 1 in the queue right now, but he had 2 vills in the queue, which means he definitely could have had 1 or 2 more villagers on wood.
Yeah, he's got 5 on food now on the board, which should be absolutely fine to keep it running. Even that could be considered too much.
Yeah, I mean, this to your point, right? First fishing ship on the way for Hera. There are 4 fishing ships out already for the Max. And again, I understand he's he's Malians, but still, that is such a massive lead.
Look how many economy units are ahead. 13 and it's minute 7.
Yeah, that is nuts. That is nuts. I mean, Persians as well, right? Persian player, Valessa, 5 fishing ships out already. Valis, 4 fishing ships out already. As the Spanish player, bringing in a boar now as well. But, I mean, he's got, 10 villagers on wood. And, yeah, Hera, I think, just showing exactly as you say, his nomad inexperience here. He's putting more vills on food right now.
Yeah, it tells me he wants to get up pretty soon. You have that many villas on food, but just having so few ships is just disaster, to be honest. Especially as it's free eco at this point, you're not going to be getting pressured, right?
Yeah, bringing in another boar though, so he did find a 3rd boar over to the left-hand side, and that means the Max has no boars. So while he does have an incredible fishing eco, he is going to have to make it to the feudal age without any boar hunt.
And might struggle to get up without it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's look at food counts now. He's got 11 on food, only 160 in the bank, whereas Hera probably only 120 in the bank as well, but probably has like 300 on these villagers here.
He can win now.
Wow, first to feudal is going to be Chris as the Saracen. So he'll play water, it looks like, here for Canada. Where's his dock even?
Down in the kind of like southwest, just near Rubenstock's TC.
Near
which is
Rubens.
kind of nice for him because Rubenstock's dock's not far away, and also Mentalist on the left-hand side of Rubenstock's dock.
Oh, and they know where Ruben's dock is.
Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt there for the Burmese player.
Well, the quickest up times by any means from anyone here. We can see just the second feudal age time from Max. Probably Wad does want to chip in with water. The one that is so close.
Yeah, and so Valessa going for a 2nd dock, but over near the Max's docks because he knows about Hera's, right? So he's gonna go, he's gonna produce out of both his dock on the right-hand side and the one in the north, and then as you mentioned, a 2nd and 3rd dock from the Max.
And see if you look at Valessa's scouting, look at the team scouting. He knows he can go for this 2nd dock and 3rd dock over here, a bit separated from your original one. Sometimes it can be a risk where you're not getting like the same numbers.
Yeah.
But he knows like his first dock, there's no one close at all because he's like the full shoreline's been scouted.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
He knows this fish economy is going to be super safe, which is just so nice.
Yeah, they are. It's a good point. They're aware of every single dock position of their opponents, and I like this actually. Rubenstock, I think, is already starting to run some fishing ships.
Yeah,
he hasn't chosen to run them all, but he should.
He's redocked next to Slam down in the bottom here as well. He's also going to trickle in some fires too.
Yeah, interesting. So, Blacksmith now being dropped here by Slam, as well as an archery range back at home.
Don't hate it at all. He's also going for a tower.
Ooh, and a tower.
Yeah,
ooh, that's gonna hurt. They'll have to reposition to the wood line in the south, but this is where that space issue that we're talking about for the Max is really gonna start to hit him hard.
Imagine if Hera had walled them in already by this point, you know, at the wood line to the coastline.
Oh god, that'd be so nasty.
That would have been sick.
And you know what? Nomad players would think about that.
I think with a little bit more experience, potentially, he would have. That maybe would have already been done. A bit of synergy between them, knowing this would have to be the next wood line.
All right, so let's see here. Look at these walls, though, from Mentalist. Mentalist is he's team walling with Chris.
Man, that's not something you see a lot of, but it's beautiful. Not gonna lie.
That's so rare. Yeah, that is so rare in Nomad, but it's going to work out great for them as long as they complete the walls, of course, because they're walling towards Rubenstock, and Rubenstock could still wreak havoc on their ecos, dropping both of his feudal age buildings and now clicks to the castle age. So it's Finland that will make it to castle age first, with both Valis and Rubenstock already on the way.
And Hera, thinking about Castle when he does get to Castle Age as well, but all of these power civs on the way up for fun. Honestly, the civs for Finland is just insane. Even like Burmese is such a good solid nomad civ.
All right, so you know what? Slam is kind of or Hera rather is kind of walling him in. I don't think it's like necessarily intentional, but because he's dropping Market, Blacksmith, and Palisades, he's starting to cut the Max off, and the Max is even putting walls up to corner himself in. A tower as well on the gold to make sure that he can still mine it.
Yeah, I think he's concerned about the archers coming over now. Could
Take a
go
look at the
for
wall.
what about stone walls behind it? Has to get pressure tiers. Be awkward.
Yeah, I'm checking back in with water here. Valesa's just chasing some of the galleys away here from Chris. I haven't seen too many kills come through on water for either side.
Oh, look, gonna double click the galleys. Looks like OS has taken some fishing ships. So I think Hera's all fish all dead. Yeah, Hera's fish are all dead.
Yeah, Ruben lost his fish as well. He saved 2 in the north, but he lost the rest, it looks like. So
Yeah.
some damage there for sure.
But Spanish coming into Castle Age now. 10 fish, absolutely untouched, is going to be a serious problem. That could be a serious problem for every single member
Most definitely,
of Canada
yeah.
if you're not careful.
There you go. Monastery plus castle immediately for Valis. We have a castle as well for Ruben. That's an interesting castle from Ruben. What is his vision here? I'm surprised he didn't place it on the right side, like towards Chris's gold. Chris is in feudal age. Why wouldn't you range his gold?
He doesn't know he's there.
Oh, am I crazy? I
He
thought.
actually doesn't even know he's there.
Oh,
That's
he
insane.
doesn't. He has vision up to the gold, but
Yeah.
not of the. Okay. I saw that line and I was like, he must know, but he doesn't. He hasn't seen those houses come out yet. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough then. But Arambai on the way. We've got Conquistadors on the way. And the raiding will begin here for the side of Finland. Mentalist and Hera, you're the two who are in Castle Age. And oh my goodness, the Max getting castle dropped by Hera right now. I mean, I think you just have to consider running vills right now. Just migrate all your vills. I think you break the southern walls and you run you run towards Ruben. You gotta.
You've kind of had 2 people focusing on Max at this point as well. Which is certainly not ideal. Chris is only just getting up now as well. Slam really invested in archers, didn't feel like he got too much from it.
I mean, at least the Max is getting a few kills here with the Mangonel, but does lose the Mangonel in the end. And he now has 25 villagers that can't do anything but chop wood.
Well, honestly, the castle only hits the TC, it doesn't even cover the gold, so Max can still take gold safely at the moment.
That's true, actually. Yeah, it's that's without fletching though, yeah.
Yeah. Costaleer's out, gonna be annoying. Monastery drop now. Where are the conks from Valis? And I've already killed 4 units. Not any vills. Is gonna go and hit the wood line from Chris. And good luck. The firing squad's here, baby.
Yeah, and Valesa now gets to expand to the north because of all that open space, right? So second TC being dropped. Hera's dropping a second TC of his own. The Max has already gotten a second TC down. Rubenstock is going to find this TC with 7 Arambai, and it's only 2 Coustier that are here to defend, but it looks like they will be just enough with 13 villagers building that TC, so Hera does a good job of avoiding damage there.
And Arambai not the most accurate either. So I might get caught out here with the Arambai. If Rubenstock does not, just get close. All you gotta do is get close, and Arambai usually wreck.
Okay, walls up here for the Max. The Coustier could still wrap around the back here, which they will do, but they're low health, and there is a monk there for the max in response. Okay, Conquistadors, though. All that team walling is for nothing when it's Palisades, and the conks just break through immediately. 8 conks here with 8 kills.
And Chris is actually going double TC, not going for Monastery. You can see Mental's going for Monastery on the right-hand side.
Okay, the conks make it through the wall. They will find this TC right as it goes up. Only one Vil goes down, and the second TC is safe enough so that Chris will make it onto his third.
Bull is looking very good for Finland. Dallas already on double TC. He's just completely untouched. And he's good.
Yeah, and the fishing ecos are so much stronger, right?
Yeah,
They've done a much better job of controlling water.
Terra's on 2 TCs. He's got 39 Vils, which is not much more than 1 TCs at the moment. He's going to get 2 Costaliers out as well. Like Max has as many Vils as Hera.
Yeah, I think the argument would be just how inefficient they are, right? Because he's basically had them on the run for half the game. He's migrating another 12 of them away from the gold. He at least has another gold to work with and a stone. So he's not completely out of it yet, and he does have those 11 fishing ships, which is huge for him in the end.
Yeah, it looks like water... water's pretty much secured. There is some more stuff on the south side from Mentalist. There's a few more fires out. I feel like Max just taking like it's been 2 players focusing in on him. That's a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, he's defended incredibly well, right? Like, he has not taken nearly as much damage as I would have expected him to take, having been pressured by 2 people. And in fact, he's going to start pressuring Hera back, because he's got the the mangonels.
And he's got the monks. And
He's got the monks, the mangonels, and a few Arambai here to help out.
And Terra's not good. He's not good big army numbers.
No, exactly. He's relying on just the Custelier. And he's trying to drop a 3rd TC right now. But even struggling with that, and now has to put up another market because his first one went down.
I don't even know what he's looking to get from the market. His resources aren't fantastic. Kind of weird. Arambai coming back over as well. 18 on the field for Ruben. Only 6 for Mentalist, so different approach here. Conks do die in Chris's base. Again,
Okay.
if Arambai are in a decent mass and they get close to the Conks, they do pretty decent.
Yeah, he's got 9 more Conks, 10 out onto the field now on this hill. We'll see where he chooses to send them next. Valessa dropped 2 towers on woodlines. Just to be ultra safe. I mean, again, Valessa's going to go untouched here while he booms, and Valis is going to do the same thing. A 4th TC now on the way, so the Finland eco is only going to get stronger.
Like, Ribbonstar just needs to add Arambai. Of course, like, Arambai and Castle Age is just a really strong unit and kind of fall off an imp.
The max is expanding to 4 TCs. This guy was getting 2v1'd, castle dropped, cornered, and now he's on 4 TCs all of a sudden.
They'll get good Vel numbers. Convert some units here as well. Another castle coming in from Valis. The fact he's going to be on 4 TCs is huge. Just the fact that Valis and Valis are just totally untouched is...
Ruben wants to drop a castle, I assume, here, bringing all these villagers over. But where's the best place to put it? On this hill where the Arambai are, maybe?
Ooh, that's what he's thinking. I mean,
Yeah, there it is.
They've got the numbers there.
Yeah, they should absolutely be able to get this up with 5 monks and Arambai to deal with the crossbows and the Custelier of their opponents. This is gonna... Oh, he replaces it. Okay, I was like, the Siege Workshop was just about to get in the way, and he can't get it down. So he's actually gonna rethink the position, it looks like.
I would delete that outpost.
Yeah, delete that outpost for sure. Maybe he's worried of mangonels popping out of those Siege Workshops at this point, so... Instead, he loops around, and he's going to drop it on this wood line. Hera's trying to block it with markets. Almost did.
Max has Redemption now as well. That's going to be interesting when Mangonel comes out.
Okay, Vil's getting picked by the Custelier, but the monks now trying to look for conversions. They walk under TC fire, though, unfortunately, and 2 of them go down. A couple conversions did come through, though, and the castle will still go up, it looks like. Konk's now on the way as well to aid in the raiding. And right now, it's Hera and Slam versus the world. The question is, where's the rest of the team? They're booming up here on the south side, and finally, some Arambai, 16 Arambai are coming over here from Mentalist.
Max just lost the whole lot. Did you see many monks and mangonels went down? Holy fuck.
Yeah,
pretty
I
much-
see the remnants.
Yeah, it's all for that castle to go up. Now, Valis
Right.
and Verles are both up, though, which is going to be huge.
That's a very good point.
Verles
20
is just gonna be going
seconds.
to Cavalier. Valis looks like he's going to stick on monks.
And that could just be an absolute killing blow. I mean, Valis losing all of his conks again, though. He dove a little deep there. And under TC fire against crossbows and Arambai, he loses all of them. So that's pretty good for Canada. They buy themselves a little bit of space. Valis is castle creeping forward, though, towards the south. And that's going to be pretty big. 50 seconds away from the Imperial Age. He'll be able to have Trebs on the field, and that's going to be tough to deal with for either Chris or Mentalist. And all while that's happening, another castle comes down here in the north. It's a castle war, in fact. Slam trying to beat Valessa to the punch, and will do so, but Ram's already on the field as well with those knights that are soon to be Cavalier. Second armor upgrade just finishing.
So Slam and Valles they were running different races there.
Valessa rethinks the castle position. He drops it a little bit more conservatively. He's got plate barding on the way. Husbandry just completed. No Cavalier click just yet. Should have the he has the resources for it now. There it goes.
Go. Yep.
Okay.
Persian Knights to get the +2 against crossbows. It's just going to be nice against Slam, and his crossbow numbers are just going to pot around in the meantime. Valis going to be on to Trebs. Yep. And he can pretty much target... I mean, Chris is putting castle up already.
Yeah, that's the second castle there for Chris, and there's one in place for Mentalist. They can repair for a bit. They've got decent stone counts and plenty of villagers on stone. There's 23 villas on stone for Chris at the moment, but they need to make their way to the Imperial Age. 2 minutes and 20 seconds for Chris to get there.
Well, starting some raids up. And the back, Rubenstock's there too.
Yeah, these aren't even cav yet. They do have plate barding, though, so they can run under these TCs pretty easily, even as knights. And plenty of Vil picks already coming through, buying space for Rubenstock to bring the Arambai in.
Well, I'm clicking up now as well. Does he stick on crossbow here? With Tatars.
He's putting 2 more. Oh, GG's called.
GG.
I was about to answer the question, but looks like we don't need an answer. There it is. We're evened up 1-1. Finland just played that really smoothly. Honestly, I think Max is MVP.
Just distracted like so much, you know?
Yeah, I think he dealt with the pressure so brilliantly. He really had so few losses, in all honesty, for how much pressure was thrown at him. The fact that he got that Siege Workshop up, that first one up so early, it actually helped him so much to have a Mangonel on the field and then get those monks out to deal with the Coustier and rotating around the southern part of the map. He really did a great job and bought that time for Valessa and Valis to just absolutely pop off and run over their opponents.
Yeah, and that's the key really, is having Spanish and Persians so free on land, then come in and just sweep up. And 2 players in Imp, not a single player in Imp for Canada.
Yeah, never made it. Chris was on the way, right? But it wasn't going to matter.
Mamluks would have took some time to get to as well.
Yeah.
But I think...
And Valis already had 3 Trebs on the field working away on those castles. So, like, those castles were going to go down as quickly as the Mamelukes were coming out.
I think if it's Game 7, they play a lot longer than that. But I think the situation of the Civs, hop out to the Civ draft, just wasn't a map that the perfect timing. Okay, what do we have for Civs here?
For Civs, let's start on the side of Finland, shall we? And I can go around the edge. So we've got Incas here for Rubenstock in the red, playing on the flank. His pocket is going to be Valis, playing as the Japanese. On the other side, we've got Valessa playing the Lithuanians. So one of our expectations, right, for the Lithuanians was was that start, and then his pocket will be the Huns.
So it's going to be
max.
Huns here. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So then on the other side, we'll start, I guess, with Slam here in the blue, opposite Ruben's stock. And he's playing as the Malay. Fantastic water sieve, quick up times, and great options on water. His pocket is Hera as the Berbers. So another strong water sieve, actually, if he chooses to go for that. But otherwise, good control of the center with castle drops. And unique unit play. Chris is going to be the pocket on the other side to Mentalist. Mentalist is playing as the Dravidians, so we finally get our Dravidians pick that we were waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Vietnamese is the pocket there.
It's weird to me that Vietnamese is getting used here.
So Chris, I feel like I've seen a few. Canada's the team I've watched the most throughout Nations Cup, and Chris on migration has always been. He's just been a center island player. He like completely ignores everything else, gets an insane boom, and then he just goes castle age, or he goes like castle unique units. So in this case, it'll be rats and archers and like shit tons of trebs. He's gonna like make like 8 trebs and just massacre everybody.
Mm-hmm. Probably we're going to see. Seen a lot of Chinese picked by Chris going into Chukanas. I think it's just probably the
Exactly,
first
and
time we
that's what he
saw-
does, right? He literally just goes Chukanu treb.
Yeah.
And so I think he's gonna do the same thing just with Vietnamese.
I think this is the first time we saw Vietnamese pockets. Certainly very odd. Inkas on the other side should be able to do this fast kind of up meta. Same thing with lifts.
Know your place.
Huns should be pretty nice scaling through the game with all those the wood savings. Whenever you're making ships as well, it's so nice. You just never get housed. It's so good. Your production never falters as long as you
Yeah.
have resources there.
The dock placement here from Mentalist is very telling, right? That he puts it on the back of his island. He's aware that he's up against the Lithuanian player.
Mhm.
So he's just going to buy even himself as much time as possible in case Valessa chose to go after his fish instead of going straight towards Chris.
Very, very defensive for the back here.
Yeah.
Force all of the Canadians getting +5 pop space as well, which is super nice. Dravidian teammate. Other team bonuses. Japanese...
You know what would have been
Sorry.
sick? Sorry to cut you off. I just saw this. You know what would be sick? Is a double dock block by Slam and Hera. Because they've got that pond
Oh
to
my
the
God.
left, and their islands are close enough they could double dock and actually create a wall. And just have like an insane boon. And Slam is Malay.
Even then, there's just so much fish in the bank there.
Yeah, there's actually like a good amount of
Did they see that?
of
they
deep
see
fish.
it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's 10 deep fish there. That's 2,250 food before you even talk about, yeah, the little bit of shore fish, and then the possibility to just have a completely free fish boom that's protected by 2 docks.
Huh.
Like, again, it's such a minor thing, and it's not what you're thinking about as a high-level player in that moment, right? You're playing the meta, which is, you know, has... Oh, there we go, though. A dock on that side here from Hera. So he's splitting his docks, one to the right and one to the left. So maybe in the long term, they will think about that.
Yeah, and a lot of like this fast method, it's all about running towards the pocket and sniping as many fish as you can. So the fact that he's gonna have 2 docks on separate sides of his islands here just means that it's gonna be much harder for the ships to get sniped, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna be all
I like that
completely
a lot.
split up, which I do like. It's just splitting the
Oh,
difference.
Valis is doing the same thing, and so is the Max, actually, right? So because of this map gen, we have... It's interesting how each of these corners gives a lot of safety. And so they're going to split the docks both ways. The only person who's not doing that is Chris.
Triple dock opening from Mentalist, that extra wood. Really nice, only double dock from Valles. Straight onto galleys. Same
It's
thing
actually
from...
so nasty that Dravidians can do that, right? Because
Yeah.
he's also getting pop space when he does this.
Yep.
Like, oh.
It all stacks, it's just so nice. Double dock from Rubenstock, and then double dock from Slam as well, but Slam, of course, with Millie should be pretty solid with the eagle here.
Yeah, Valessa's got his first 2 galleys out, and he's bringing a 3rd dock up at the moment. But we already have galleys on the field here for Mentalist as well. So we're not going to have any of that cheeky early damage, it looks like.
It's going to be so hard to sneak past as well because of the team bonuses. You have Malay Dock with the extra line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. You will have the Japanese bonus, the team bonus for Finland that gives the galleys extra line of sight. So you will be able to like react a little bit quicker if you're Team Finland, in
Right.
theory, which is quite nice.
Well,
the
and
galleys see so far.
we see that already from Valesa. Very quick to react, seeing that he doesn't have the numbers. Excuse me, in a 2v3, and now retreats to mass some more. Ooh, Rubenstock, though. I think he just snuck 2 by.
Yeah, and Slam did the same thing. Slam's also going, but he is going straight into Ruben's docks and decides to go back. And Ruben's 2 galleys are still going forwards.
Exactly. So Ruben's undetected currently. Might get some good damage here onto Hera's fish because Hera is completely unaware. He did just see Feudal Age, so he can build a fire in response when he sees this, but this could be a lot of fish losses. It's 3 volleys when you have 2 galleys, right?
Yep.
For a fish to die. There it goes. There's 1 down already.
Now, I'd love for Hera to communicate this to Slam. He should know the 2 galleys are forward. Maybe you just send enough to go and defend, and maybe send the rest forward. You've got to assume that Rubenstock has less numbers at home, but he's actually sending... Okay, he is sending the 2 back. Nope. Can't make his mind up. Sending them all. No, he does split them off eventually.
Yeah,
The 2
sending
going home.
3 in total
Yeah.
back.
It's gonna be hard for the galleys to catch up with Hera as well because of the movement speed of Berber
Yeah.
ships. But he is... A 3 got? No, 2.
I mean, if I were Ruben, I would just now move over to Chris, which I think is exactly what he's going to do. And these ships won't have that move speed bonus. But, ooh, great heads-up play by Chris. Fire Galley.
Yeah, already
He
one
knows
out.
that's fantastically done. He knew that the pressure was going to come his way, so he makes sure to get that Fire Galley out. He also already has a transport ship and villagers on the center island.
I'm really surprised how deep... how deep Chris has went with those Vels.
He's gone very deep, and they're also still idle because he's worried about protecting his fishing eco right now.
Yeah.
Did already get, and so he's really late to getting units onto the field. There's already a stable and scouts on the way here from the max.
Yeah. And he's got the market and the blacksmith. He's up to Castle Age. Gonna be scouts for the meantime, but it will be on tonight's very soon. Did Max see anything? He's already got 1 scout just kind of looking around. He's not went for the coastline, funnily enough. Trying to get a lay of the land in the middle at the moment.
Comparing numbers here, Mentalist has much better galley numbers at the moment than Valesa does, at least in their engagement. But mostly a standoff there. On the other side, it's Slam who has a 2 galley lead over Rubenstock in this engagement. No kills have been traded yet between these galleys.
No, very, very cagey, which it usually is on migration. You just want to make sure you don't die on flank. So they just can't run past and destroy everything, but you're going to be expecting the impending fire ships or fast fire ships at some point. But water and migration just doesn't... It does lose its value as the game goes on. It's just all... The game, migration, is on... The clues in the name, it's all about the middle.
Exactly.
And Alice is here.
And that's where Finland, I was going to say Finland right now, I think, has the lead in that regard. I mean, Max is going to be on 3 TCs, and he'll be there first.
I'd love to see Valis just send his transport over to Ruben so he can get some bells across now. And potentially the same thing from... And Max is actually doing it right now. He's sending his transport over to the Valis. That's really nice team play. You got to use this window to get over. Because you don't want to be overrun on water and think, fuck, I can't get over now.
It's a very good point. We do have Lightcav in for the max, and he sniped a Vil from Hera in the center. So Hera only has 1 Vil left, but that's going to feel really good just to slow Hera's progress down.
Hera's got 21 fish behind us.
That's disgusting. Yeah, his eco is so nice, but he's delaying more TCs because of that, right? He's investing all of his wood into fishing ships right now, and therefore can't build more TCs. 4 TCs though for Chris. He's just following his formula, man. He's gonna go like 4 or 5 TC boom on the center island, and look how compact it is. It means that even night raids aren't really gonna do much. And then he's just gonna go castles late game and push.
They only get 9 fishing ships, which is actually a bit of a concern for me for Chris.
Yeah, why is that? I mean, I guess because he's chosen to go to 4 TCs first, but
Yeah, but he's quite a lot of wood in the bank. He's not going to be able to produce here at all. He's going to get 50 food. Definitely going to need more fish. You can see the difference between him and the other pockets for Finland. 21 and 15. Kind of is a bit weird for me, honestly. And he only lost
Okay, well-
one. Yeah, he only lost one. Huh.
Well, Valessa moving to the center island. So the only players that haven't yet are Ruben, Stock, and Slam.
And Rubenstock's getting pressured in water now, so this was talking about this timing thing.
Yeah,
Like-
heavily pressured. Holy crap. I mean, he's not Castle, right? So, or he is, but he doesn't have
Just waiting on upgrades,
War Galley yet. Yeah.
But he's just going to struggle now to get over.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have a numbers advantage. He's got defender's advantage, but he's got to find... Okay, demolition ships being created now. So that's what he's going to look for, is a little eject, get a couple good hits with some demos, and then maybe he can take control of water back on this side. But if he goes down, Valis's fishing eco also comes under fire.
Ballas has went for fire ship himself, and he's also got Korean now, so that will tank quite a bit. And I think once he gets 4 or 5 fires in front, Ruben should be fine, because Hera's full land, right? He's not adding any fire ships in at all.
Yeah. The Max is just already... I love this. He's littering the center island with outposts. He's got 2 villagers working on that. He's also running light cav all over the place.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Just to be a nuisance. 3 TCs now for Valessa. Mentalist still hasn't dropped an extra TC. He does have villagers on the center island. They're on a lumber camp, so at least he knows that he can drop a TC at some point, but he should be considering it soon, as he's finally looking to push Valessa back on water.
Valessa already made that migration. Looking good. Left-hand side. Fires need to get in front of the war galleys, but should be fine. Is Slam gonna cross yet? Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like, yeah, he hasn't made the effort yet, but I guess they, at least up to this point, have felt like they've had total control, so he could do that at any time he wants. He does have a transport ship out, and he's moving Vils to it now.
Okay, nice.
So being pushed back on water, I think he realizes the importance of getting those 5 villagers across right now before he loses all control.
No Korean, of course, so when he gets 5 bells in the transport. Kind of a pain in the ass, in all honesty. But...
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. It's also crazy that you could fit, you know, like 5 knights, which would be 5 people, and 5 horses, which you can
5
only
more
fit
elephants.
5 villagers, you know, or 5 elephants. Exactly. Like, come on now.
It makes no sense. He's actually going
It
for
makes
Karina now.
no
He's actually going for Karina now as well. That's funny.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
The war galley numbers look good for Ruben stock though.
Yeah, he's come back a bit, and in part because we have the fires that were added by Valis, right? Like, that gave him the edge in the fight to regain numbers control. Hera hasn't built any support on water. And he's even starting to invest in fishing traps, which is really dangerous if they're about to lose control on this left-hand side. Chris, though, second castle up in the middle now. Look at this. Chris is he's just a monster.
Concern is for the side of the fish eco once Valis comes in with those fires. If I'm Ruben stock, I consider just running straight past. And
Yeah.
try and snipe as much as you can.
Well, I think especially since your pocket has fire ships, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I would be like I'd be worried about like running past if then that meant that Slam could also just then run to our side, but like he'd have to go through fire ships anyway. So I think I agree with that. While we're in this pause, checking on the other side, it looks like Valessa's just retreated, but I don't really see. Actually, he's down to 15 galleys, war galleys there to the 24 of Mentalist. Actually, I take that back. Mentalist is sending 8 more forward, so it's 32.
Yes.
Am I missing something? I guess
Mm,
Valessa was just at this point transitioning more towards the
Yes.
center island because
Yes.
Mentalist still hasn't built a TC. Oh, he's building it now. He just
yeah.
placed it.
Looks like Ruben dropped.
Ah.
Okay,
All right.
looks like it's working. It's a very good sign.
Does. Okay, so yeah, and we're right back in where we were. 2 minutes away from the Imperial Age here for Chris. And that's really where my fear lies, I think, for Finland is are they going to be prepared to deal with 2 castle pressure coming out of the Vietnamese player? While they definitely have more players on the center island, or more control of it, I would say, with Ruben finally making it there and getting a TC up. Slam still no TC. Does have those 5 villagers there, though.
Hera has a beautiful push coming in now in Palace. My biggest
Ooh.
concern is like the amount of like all the Finns are floating a fuck ton of wood, and like the let's just drop 2 more TCs. So I did get rid of a bit of it. Like Max only has like 1,000 wood in the bank. Same with Palace.
Yeah, well, he should be probably he should just be in, well, he's got 51 farmers, right? Or 51 on food. So I would want to see like 10 more farms dropped and then sell the rest of the wood.
Just lost the TC to this. That's a very dangerous push from Hera. He's got 3 monks, 4 mangonels.
4 mangonels. Will he lose one here? Actually, no. Great split with the mangonels. Does eventually lose the low health one. So good job there by Valis in defense. But yeah, he's pushed now down to just a single TC. Does have pikemen. Can he get the repairs here? Just enough. Not quite. Loses the mangonel underneath the TC. Hera down to 2 mangonels though, or no, 3. That one was just hiding behind the archery range.
And he might lose. If Palace just targets him, he's gonna lose all the mangonels here.
Yeah,
Who is he?
the 2 light cav,
Yeah,
the
he
2
does,
light
yeah,
cav
yeah,
there by the max. So that's good. That'll stall that push out quite a bit, and he is gonna put a very defensive castle in the back. But look at this, Chris, a 3rd castle and a beautiful hill. What a great castle position that is.
And map control, very vital in migration. You don't want to be forced into the ocean here where you're going to be running out, but if you can just like starve your opponents for resources eventually, like they're going to run out of gold, they're going to run out of stone. Once that happens, you're going to be an absolute shambles, and even Hera's up to Imp now. Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Hera on the
looking
way to
very
Imp.
tricky.
The Max will be the 2nd player to Imp, though, on the field. And he's got a castle coming up. So Chris is going to have to start dealing with the Max of all players, right? But
Yep.
4 castles? I mean, I think Chris might be the best migration player, pocket player out there. Like, I feel like every time I've watched him play, he does this exact same thing, and he always gets away with it.
Must just be so strong, right? Too good.
Yeah, he's already got 18 rats and archers on the field.
You know exactly what's coming, and you still can't stop it.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. He's got all of his eco upgrades. He's got crop rotation and two-man saw coming in. He's already got full upgrades on the rats and archers aside from the final armor upgrade. And maybe chemistry. I didn't look to see if that came in. But he does at
already,
least...
yeah.
Okay, I was like, he has a university, so he probably did. We just need to watch him shoot.
Yeah, it's got the...
Yeah,
the
so yeah,
points.
he's got it for sure. So yeah, he's basically got fully upgraded rats and archers outside of elite, which will come in. There's Thumbring as well. And he's even going into a little bit of infantry upgrades so that he can build some pikes, I'm sure, to support his push.
You know, as the Cav are going to be coming in from Max, of course, his Huns. Going to be on Cavaliers, going to be in +4. Max is kind of going over to Valis, who's over up to Imp at the moment, but really finding too much of his knights. He seems to be caught in 2 minds what to do with them at the moment.
Ruben's going to get utterly destroyed by Hera. Ruben's in a really bad spot. And I think he sees it. Yeah, look, he's going to run all of his villagers because he realizes Hera hits Imp, has knights, and a castle position here on the northwestern side of the island. And so Ruben is running for his life. Valis is even relocating to a degree, dropping another castle in the back for safety. Cavalier upgrade is in. Trebs are on the field here for the max, so he's going to start to put pressure onto Chris's castles, but he's only got one Treb at the moment and only one castle to produce from.
Like the stone walls from Bless as well. This is something that's been very underrated from teams. It's not a difficult map to wall migration because you have so much wood in the middle. It's very, you can make it very choke pointy if you wanted.
Right. Oh, on the island itself, right, for
Yeah.
4 players is very small,
Yep.
you know, because of... So, yeah, it's a really good point that those stone walls give them a lot of safety. Funnily enough, though, Mentalist is inside those walls with TCs.
He's dishing. Castle Age dish.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
Paladin on the way from Max. And there's 23 Cavalier on the field. Does take some
Okay.
time to come in. Still a minute and 20 away.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, while Paladin is obviously a phenomenal upgrade, on the other side, you've already got Halberdier in for Chris. He's got 22 of them on the field. You've got Cavalier in for Hera, and Rats and Archers behind that. You know, 40 of them. I don't
It's
think
looking
that...
very good for Canada at the moment. 100 military.
It's
ahead.
looking really good for Canada. Where's Valessa's military buildings? Because he's going for skirmishers, but I don't even see...
I think he's got one range dash.
He's got 4. He technically... Oh, he's got 3, and the 4th one is barely not complete. It's about to be completed, but he'll have
Oh, he's
4
got
total ranges.
Yeah.
So he's just going skirmishers, elite skirmishers and pikemen. Oh, and he's going pikemen out of 1 barracks. Oh no.
That's
Yeah, they just this goes back to your point about the wood. All the wood they were floating. Like they just need to have so much more production at this point, right? If I mean Valessa's got 500 wood currently.
Just a lack of
Valis
space.
as well, 800 wood. Yeah, they've got no space at all.
And man, the real estate on migration is just so crucial.
Okay, how about this? This push here from Valis, at the very least, is something. Because while the Paladin are doing absolute work against Chris's army, we also have 3 Trebs targeting the castles in the center here from Hera. And we have Onagers in defense and house walls. So it's going to be hard for Hera to deal with these 3 Trebs. He does have 2 Trebs of his own now. But those Paladin can come in and make quick work of that. And all of a sudden, the elite skirmishers behind everything aren't so bad.
Hera didn't have +4 yet on his Cavalier. He's switching into Camel Archers. Honestly, losing that second castle forward could be huge.
Yeah, and these Paladin, honestly, I said that, you know, while it's a great upgrade, I didn't think it'd be enough, but it just might be enough. Already clearing up 2 Trebs, now 3, and about to clear up the 4th. We do have Halberdiers here from Valis to deal with the Cavalier on the other side, and all of a sudden, Finland is mounting a huge push back. Mentalist isn't in this game right now. Where's Mentalist on land?
With these TCs in the bottom, he's getting the ranges up now, but he's still in Castle Age. Slam. Still in Castle Age 2. And that's going to be that's just such a serious issue when you have 50 Paladin out on the field that are now going to raid.
Yeah.
Hera's trying
Honestly,
to get onto heavy camel.
The flank player's a little slow to get into the game here, it seems like, for Canada. I mean, Rubenstock's not in it really either, but Valessa now is. So it's kind of a 3v2 at the moment, and all the Trebs are going down here from Chris, and his castles are under fire.
Even Ruben, he's going to get an imp. You don't need much of an eagle for eagles, and he's got a lot of gold banked. And he's probably just going to get some eagles out in the meantime.
The Slam is about to hit Imp as well, and he is going for Husbandry here, so it's going to be Battle Elephants out of the melee player.
And man, I know they're just taking so much of the map back in the last few minutes.
I'm so impressed, honestly. I thought they were dead. I thought they were absolutely dead, and the Paladin engagement was just so big. And Valis had the Trebs out on the field just at the right time to take advantage of that fight.
And Valis, just making
The walls
skirmishers is doing enough.
And the walls, like
Yeah.
he just put these stone walls to save himself from the Halberdiers coming in. He's gonna get another castle up. And he's got more trebs currently, so he'll wipe up the trebs on the other side. And I mean, again, while we would have liked to have seen more ranges initially, he's finally got himself up to 8 ranges.
Phil
So he's
Scarm
producing significantly.
just killing Vietnamese at the moment.
Yeah. Wild,
doing
wild.
work. And Max with his trebs just chipping away on the castles from Chris. How many has he got left now? Is it 2, 3? Down to 3.
He's down to 3 castles. If he can stay at least on 3, that's all right. We've got the elephants finally moving over. So we'll see if the elephants are enough. They're about to be elite as well.
Yep, as Malays, they don't have the best
They don't have
fierce
much armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paladin.
But
right
if you're
now,
only fighting against skirms and halbs for the most part, and paladin, then that lack of armor doesn't matter so much, except for under castle fire. And Hera's also got heavy camel riders over here now to deal with paladin. So the pushback has begun here for Canada. The question is, what's happening on the other side? We've got Japanese towers coming up. So the tower push begins here for Valis, and he's going to try and just push back slowly, a slow creep on the left-hand side.
And Eagles coming in from Ravenstock now as well. The McGrevy camels also for the regen from Hera. It's nice, I do love that. I think Valis' military slacking a little bit with the numbers. Naming it halves in the queue is kind of weird.
Yeah, military numbers definitely slacking, but he's putting a lot of investment right now into Arrow Slits Bracer and getting those towers up, right? Yasama probably as well.
His foot count's really bad.
Oh, this is big though. Elite Latus clicked for Valessa. So that's going to be a switch that might catch Canada off guard, right? From skirm play into Elite Latus.
It's got 4
Could
relics.
be nasty, and he got relics early.
It's got 4
exactly.
relics.
That's disgusting. Latus ignoring armor, of course, and so they're effective against all units, essentially. But the elite elephants are now starting to do absolute work, even as just Malay elephants. 300 health on these bad boys here, and they're starting to roll forward through the center of the map. Hera's got Cavalier and Heavy Camels to help in that fight. Finally, Mentalist is in the game, and he'll be playing Elephant Archers. Isn't elite just yet. 5 seconds until that comes in, but just as well, they'll have 300-ish or 280 HP. And those are a force to be reckoned with.
Yep. Bless does have like full Scarm prepped already, and honestly, you have mass Scarm, like they don't do terrible. Maybe the Elephant Archers are kind of split up, but the main issue with any kind of elephant unit is just tank so much damage, right?
Exactly. It's just how much health they have. Which composition do you like? Like post-imp, full late game? Honestly, it's hard for me to pick.
Well, we have McGrevy camel to the regen. And the elephants are super annoying to deal with. If we're all like optimal.
I don't really like
Question.
Incas in this comp late game. I
Yeah,
think they
like-
would struggle late. So I think I like Canada just for that reason that Incas, I think, run out of options against things like the elephants other than just
But we do have
halbs of
Paladin
their own.
and Wedge Eye on that side from Finland as well, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, and 4 relic elite Latus, right? So I'm like, I don't know. It's a really tough call to say who I would prefer in the late game, but right now it's a very even game. At that, I'm just this push up the gut right now with the elephants.
A lot of elephants.
So many elephants and structures are falling. Finland continues to lose space here.
7 trebs behind it. 7. That is...
7, yeah, that's disgusting. It's only 4 onagers and some halberdiers right now for Valis. He's got no help. He's got no help. Ruben isn't able to help him. He's sending all of his units down to the south. And the Eagle Warriors aren't going to be great into elephants.
And the eco difference is just huge. Now you can see even on water. Canada trickling in some trade. The trade cogs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can see the yeah, exactly here. Through the middle, but all the fishing ships still alive as well is a good point.
96 gold with the
160.
those trade cogs there.
Wow, that's
sick.
fantastic.
Yeah. That is-
Chris, Bombard Towers now as well through the center of the map. So that's going to be really big for them as well. Just grabbing space, holding control. The top of the map here is now collapsing, and All of Finland is on the run.
Yep. Military difference, 120 units separating them now, just looks too out of reach. Don't think they can stop the death ball of these elephants and the Trevs behind it, and yep, GG.
There it is. Max will be the first to throw in the towel, and kind of goes up 2-1.
Taking their home on migration. They've looked very, very good on migration throughout the tournament, and even against Finland, still continuing that performance.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you, like, even though Chris got pushed back, like, he always does so much on this map.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he had as many castles up as he did, right? Because if he didn't, how many castles did the Max have to kill? He killed like 3 or 4 castles and still had 3 more castles he would have to kill.
Yeah.
And that bought the time for Slam to get to elephants and for Mentalist to get to elephants. They doubled up Civ as well.
What do we have?
Also, I'm stuck on the load screen for some reason.
Double Civ? Am I blind here?
Yeah, we have Celts for both teams.
Oh, we do. I'm trying to investigate that and I still couldn't see it.
All good, all good. Okay, cool. My game did not completely freeze. Ooh, Vil fights immediately here on the right-hand side between Rubenstock and Hera, but Hera will get the walls down at the very least. So
Rubenstock wanting to go boxing because it is old patch, since Poles do have the regen from Dark Age.
Ah, yes.
And the generation's interesting. Pawns.
I love it, man. Hera brings, this is such a minor thing, but I'm like, Hera had 2 villagers, and the one he sends to the middle to do the second wall is the one that's weak. Like, send the full health one out of the 2, but instead he sends the weak one. Luckily, he's not going to get murked by these wolves because he's setting the wall up just far enough back.
Oh.
And since Chris brought his scout over, they were able to stop
him.
Look,
the wolf seen him. Yes, the wall in there.
Did see him.
Oh, I don't know if he can. The wolf has trapped him.
Oh, he trapped the wolf, right? There we go. Okay.
Oh,
he got the wolf trapped in against the wood line. Well done. He can finish that wall. Okay, now that we've had a moment to breathe from the right-hand side because the walls have gone up, look at this left hand.
And, man, this is super open. Oh, my God.
Slam could be walled in.
Easily. And
by Valis.
And all of his res is pretty much forward as well.
What on earth is this generation?
Rage Forest, bruv.
This is insane. I want Valis to go over there and wall it. Why hasn't he?
I think he just plays fast archers here with you.
Yeah, but I would still wall my opponent in so that he can't run bills away. You know, like I just literally just do one palisade wall across the road right there, and then yeah, exactly, go fast feudal and archers.
I think maybe he doesn't even need to. If he just gets up fast, he can start to apply the pressure. He can always get a tower up and wall if he wants as well. Oh, the interesting thing for me is if Max is still going to go, if he's going to support or if he's going to go Castle Age.
That is a good question.
Looks like he's sending a Vel to the left-hand side, actually.
He is, so that would indicate that unless are there boars over there that he's going to try and lure? No. Okay, yeah, so then it looks like he is going to try and go, oh, he's walling.
He's going to wall as well, so if he just walls...
Well, I guess he accepts that Valis can't wall that, right? Like, you can't wall that. So he's saying, I'm going to prevent anyone else from taking damage with pretty easy walls. And then he can probably take those 3 boars in that pack of 6.
Yeah, the pack of 6 there as well is pretty sick. Not a lot of walling coming in from Canada as of yet. You can see Mentalist is going for some house walls that here has basically he's thinking about it just to secure.
Yeah. Ruben's trying to break through Hera's walls.
And
on the house here.
Not a lot of armor on these houses. And they go down so fast in Dark Age.
Yeah, he'll break this down before the Vil gets there to put the gate up. So these Vils are in, whether Hera likes it or not. And yeah, he's got to delete the gate and move away. And this was right after Chris decided to put a dock up. So I wonder if Ruben's going to try and dock it all, or if he's going to just go for Feudal age military.
I like forward dock. Makes a lot
You
of
like dock?
sense. Yeah, I like it. And Velas has got his fish boom and process on the bottom side. I like it's only one pond as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit too dominant, in my opinion, but
Okay, Drush came in here for slam. No damage. A little bit of idle time for us and some walls and whatnot, but no kills just yet.
yeah, but walls up. The range is going to be up as well with Ethiopians, and that should die pretty quickly. Provided Ballas doesn't do anything silly with his like range placement.
Mentalist is going to find this villager here from the max that's coming forward to finish the walls. So he could choose to commit for the kill here.
Scouts full HP and no loom for
Yes.
max.
Oh, no loom even. Ooh,
Yep.
that's brutal. Okay, yeah, so that is an easy kill. And Mentalist is going to try and preserve some of his health here. And the scouts come back, though, from both Valis and the Max. So keeping the Vil alive, she gets the wall up just behind, but can't get access to those boars, which she would have wanted. We do have that forward dock coming up, or up already here for Ruben Stock. Did lose a Vil in the process, or no? He brought one of them back and only sent one forward.
And Max saved that bill. That is
He
sick.
did.
That
Yeah,
is absolutely
it is very
sick. Mentalist is going to open stable here.
You know what's funny is the middle of the map is still open, so technically, if anybody wanted to run around, they could. But
Still could, yeah. And like scouts and BF is just so extremely rare. Can I wonder if
Double.
Mentalist can find something with this?
double archery range for Slam. He realizes that he needs to, fight in feudal for his life. So he's gonna go double range and a blacksmith immediately.
Kind of a weird one. It's like, this position do you really prefer? Do you like Slam, where he's got everything kind of like in his one big choke point, a little bit easier to defend, or, Valis probably going to get reinforcements from a Mentalist, which is going to struggle, and
Yeah, I mean the good
is in a
news
tricky spot as well.
I was gonna say, like, the funny thing is like I like whoever's position is the aggressor, if that makes sense. Like, if Valis were pushing Slam right now, I would hate to be in Slam's position. But because Slam's not getting pushed, I'm starting to really like his position, right? To your point, like, he's got fantastically placed resources.
Yeah.
And he's forcing idle time out of his opponent. And the way that, Valis has walled himself in, he's essentially in the same situation that Slam is in, perhaps even worse, because his resources are actually rangeable on the front. Whereas Slam walled in front of his resources.
It would have been so tough for Valis to go too far in, right?
Yeah,
only-
exactly.
it's only
He
one
would have had to
range.
cut over to, like, the wood line that the Max's wall is on, like, from his range to that wood line, maybe. But again, it's still a big wall. You're asking a lot early.
He needs to have Tower to gold already, but he might just go to the gold behind.
Yeah,
does
towering that's done. Oh, there was a hole. Luckily, he gets the house walls up, so it's not going to matter too much. Scouts here, though, from Mentalist as well to help. But TC fire and house walls on the side means not too much damage found. I expect him to just move to that gold in the back.
I kind of like to see Mentalist not overcommit here. Like, Slam's already double range. Attack's only just coming in, like, gonna be a problem. Max is gonna be Castle Age, he's just gonna get to superior army eventually. Like, he's just doubling down in the walls at this point. Just a matter of Valis surviving.
Absolutely. Yeah, Chris as well is having to produce on water, right, to deal with that dock, whereas Valesa is already getting fish traps up because he's got a free fish boom there. Castle Age on the way for both pocket players of Finland. Only on the way for Chris on the other side. Mentalist, because he built those scouts, is going to take a little longer to get there.
Well set up his boom quite nicely, going for the scout build and get the farms down and whatnot. Once you get to Castle Age, you can drop multiple TCs and have any idle time. For Chris, it's just so nice having these forward docks because you can just pop out the fires, the demos, and You just work away in the fish so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Ruben looking to try and get a stone wall up, but archers are gonna make that impossible to happen. Second TC on the way here for the Max, as well as Bosa. So he's gonna be, again, what did we say? One of the best boomers in the game. Naturally, he's the first one up to the Castle Age and on to new TCs. 2 TCs, though, being dropped here by Chris in the back. So he's going to accelerate quite swiftly. Valessa dropping 1 as well.
Valessa wants to keep this open. He's added a stable and he's added a siege workshop for that wall to the left-hand side.
Yeah. Knight already out onto the field. Siege workshop about to complete. So yeah, this wall will never really be up here for the side of Canada.
There's already some knights being trickled out from from Max as well, actually. Missed that on the left-hand side, so he is helping out a little bit.
Yeah, 3 knights on the field.
+1, that is nice.
Ooh, look at this. And they take that opportunity. Valis comes forward with Vils, and he's going to stone wall here. And this effectively cuts Slam off.
Yep. So I'm not going to get any help from Mentalist. It's still open by the right-hand side.
Exactly.
Archer's thinking about it from Slam. He's like, do I or do I not?
How many does he have? He's got 15 archers here. He's 50 seconds away from Castle Age, so he definitely wants to wait. And Valis is not up to Castle. So it could just be a crossbow knight engagement here when Mentalist and Slam reach the Castle Age. And the Max is going to have to carry that fight for Finland.
Here we're trying to get some inventive gate trap. Oh, and Valessa, but he gets away just before.
Yeah, Valessa also, though, killed the Vil that was trying to bring the monastery up for Chris here.
Oh, nice. That is nice.
Yeah, so no monks onto the field, and that means the knights can kind of freely engage, and the Mangonel can even target the monastery over the wall. TC's coming up here for Hera, though. Hera going into a 3 TC situation for himself.
Ribbon, and oh yeah, gonna be our last one in Castle Age, but he has poles. So, you know, bad eco is never an issue with pole.
Exactly.
You can always recover it without too much effort.
He'll be just fine. He's on the way to Castle Age now. We had a second TC dropped and knights immediately queued up there from Mentalist, but what did we say? The walls are up. Mentalist can't send those knights to help Slam until he breaks through those walls.
Oh, I think, what are we going to see from Valis once we get to Castle Age? Is he going to go for Siege on top of Slam? Be interested to see whether or not.
I would like to see that, especially because you're already behind, right? I would just, when I get to Castle, grab your crossbow bodkin upgrades and then drop a Siege Workshop and just start pushing Slam. Let Max continue on the 3 TC boom, you know, with some knights in support, but like the 8 that he has is pretty good for now.
Yep, there's the bells coming out. Crossbow numbers from Slam, but he's not really getting it at this moment from them.
Yeah, 24 crossbows. He's getting a university up right now, so ballistics will be on the way, and that'll be very helpful for trading, because his numbers are much better than Valis's currently. Much better. And Valis is just now completing crossbow. There's the Siege Workshop dropped. Just going to check in on the other side where Hera's going up to 4 TCs in the face of the monks and knight pressure that Valessa is trying to throw at him.
I feel like Finland have to make something maybe work in this side.
Ooh, villagers pushed away from the Siege Workshop, though. There's too many crossbows there from Slam for the Max and Valis to deal with, and the Max doesn't have second armor upgrade, right? So even though that is 8 knights, they can get microed down easily by 25 crossbows.
Siege Workshop position. I think it's nice, but
yeah, but like he could have built a Siege Workshop next to his archery range, right? And it's really not that far away.
Yeah,
like he's so, oh god, and now he's building one there. If Slam sees this, the same thing, yeah, same thing's about to happen.
the most important thing was getting it up.
Yeah, and now he's
on now.
Oh, he's built two 50% siege workshops. And he's actually going to maybe even lose these villagers now. Yep, there goes one. The second one will fall. And, okay, he built a siege workshop at home to finally get a mangonel out. So look where that siege workshop is now.
Yep.
Could have just built it there to begin with, and he'd have 4 mangonels on the field by now. So a bit of a misplay there from Valis, particularly when he is investing in military. And a second TC, but also Slam desperately trying to help Mentalist break through these walls. I'm a little surprised that Mentalist didn't build a siege workshop. Or Slam to break these walls and allow Mentalist to come back through.
Calling for the siege workshop now. He wants to break through. For some reason, Slam leaves the knights. I think.
Yeah.
Just concerned about the mangonel. Right hand side, it looks like things kind of fizzling out for the time.
A second layer of walls here for Valis. Yeah, right hand side is definitely stalled out because the walls finally came up here from Chris. Will be a castle on the hill for Valessa to control the choke point.
And the transition to Imp.
Yeah, so mostly our focus is still here on the western side where Redemption is 10 seconds away from completing. That could be another massive swing here for Slam as he's in the 1v2. Or maybe 1v1.5 because only 8 knights with first armor upgrade here from the max. Not much.
So Ankas get Redemption, but they don't get Atonement. That always be a risky one to go for if you're going to Monk War, but you're not going to see Ethiopians going for monks. Gonna lose any?
Yeah, he loses one and trades one, so that's 2 mangonels down in that moment. And still 4 monks alive here from Slam, so Val's gonna get pushed back quite significantly.
Oh god, 40 crossbows alive for Slam.
And Mentalist is on 5. He's gonna be on 5 TCs in a moment. Max has been on 4 for quite some time, so if we just check in with Vil counts, you've actually got Valessa at 103. I guess eco units. He's got 20 fishing ships. It's the max has got 97 villagers.
Chris on 92.
Hera has 99 as well.
And
Jesus.
His eco's one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
There is a forward castle from Ruben on the right hand side. If
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he drops some more farms, pulls the full works. Honestly, won't be long away from having the fit. He's got 15 villagers in the queue. Take them out the queue, man. What are you doing?
There we go. Finally, we broke through on the walls. How did they break through the walls? Did they just bring, like, petards over or something? They don't even have a castle, so that's not possible.
Yeah, I think it's just working away on them.
Okay, wow. Well, so knights are over here now, finally, to help Slam, and Slam's military numbers are going to mean that everything gets pushed back here for Valis. Valis is again, now I hate Valis' position, because he's no longer the aggressor.
Yeah, and he's not even got that much more eco than Slam. Despite having
No,
an extra TC.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
That is a lovely
that is a killer castle. Like, okay, Mangonel took a shot, but didn't get the kill on the foundation. Villagers have to reposition so as not to die. But Monk's gonna threaten conversions. Does die to the Mangonels. 2 Mangonels in defense, trying to find it. Okay, Slam even gonna replace the castle a little bit here.
Just goes for the
I don't like that as much, but it's still good, but I don't like it as much.
And I don't think he realizes the castle's... Oh, he does actually. He knows the castle's there from Max. Max is going to be up to Imp, and he should just be able to start driving that. Straight off the bat.
Push it straight back. On the other side, Hera got a castle up, and Chris is bringing a castle up right now. Imperial Age about to be reached here for the Max. Already reached for Valessa and Chris.
But what is...
Second castle as well for the Max. What's
going to be going through with the 100 cut here? I'm not seeing anything at this moment. Max is going to be helping out left-hand side. Ruben's going to be up. Okay, we do have stables being added. And we do need Schlachta. If you just, like, if Ruben can spam Schlachta Knights, that is still pretty fucking annoying.
He's got 5 stables up, so... that's something. But yeah, definitely still needs to get Slack of privileges. We've got Siege Onager, though, already on the way and 50 seconds from completion here for Valessa. 5 Onagers currently on the field. Trebuchets as well coming out, along with Elite Woad Raider. This could just be a Valesa game. If he breaks through with the Siege Onagers with a cut and just starts throwing Woad Raiders into ecos.
Yeah, and once you get Woad Raiders with big upgrades, they're just such a supreme unit. They're so good.
Yeah. Oh, and he's winning out on these Onager trades right now. He
Yep.
killed 2 here from Chris. And he'll even get the 3rd because Siege Onager completed right in that moment. Going to start working away on the barracks while he puts another forward castle up. There will be 3 castles here for Valesa in this choke. The Trebs, though, on the left-hand side. So the Max, what can he get done as well? Here against Slam. Slam looking for repairs. Went to 4 TCs, by the way, in the back after regaining some control. And Mentalist from 5 TCs, just about to hit Imperial finally. But feels like he's been on a bit of a delay, and he got walled out again.
Yeah, somehow Chris is actually the one that's got an Onager all the way over here. I don't even know from where. Oh, Chris
That's incredible.
Chris actually got a Siege Workshop down next to Sam's castle.
Ah, okay. Well, that's very important because he reopens that line for Mentalist. Mentalist about to hit Imperial Age, and he can start really helping Slam out on this side. But the castle goes down.
And there's Swag coming in. Siege Ram coming in for Valesa as well. He's starting to get a push up. It's kind of awkward because trade for both of these teams it's not going to be easily accessible.
Hera might just die, to be honest.
No.
Like, these are Siege Rams now, and you are only working with regular longbows. And you have 10 of them on the field.
Yeah, it does still have 11 range, but you need to babysit them, and as I said, you got to babysit them.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you can snipe the Siege Onagers, right, if you have good enough numbers. But again, he now has 8 longbows on the field. And that's what he has to try and defend with, while Siege Rams make quick work of all these buildings. And Ruben, by the way, has been trebbing down Hera's castles. So he's going to be producing out of just 3 castles in a moment. And he can't even really group his units up very well because the 2 of his castles are disconnected. I think Valesa just pushes him to death right here.
I wouldn't mind Valesa just moving towards the left-hand side, and maybe Ruben just deletes the walls and sends in the knights.
That's a good point, actually. He's building a gate right now, so I'm sure as soon as that gate comes down, I'm sure he'll be sending them through and deleting those walls. He's starting to produce those knights, those very, very cheap pole knights.
On the left-hand side, Keshik doing the business in the meantime. Valis, after all is said and done, he's still on 92 Vils, and he also has Onager of his own. I mean, he has a BF expert, so.
All right, Hera was at 132 villagers. Let's see what that number looks like in a couple minutes, because I have a feeling it's gonna look pretty ugly here soon.
Yeah, and the biggest issue, he doesn't have military to defend them. Like, you know, he's just getting backed into the corner here, and you're gonna try and escape. I feel like is his best bet is to try and escape Vils at this point, but he's actually going after the Siege Rams.
Yeah, and while he's penned in, Slam's prison has once again become a reality. 4 Trebs, and how many Keshiks? 40 Keshiks. Elite Keshiks over here.
You can see the gold count just going up for Max as well. It is nice.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And Onagers as well, so Slam, while he's got good crossbow numbers, he can't approach those Onagers. He got a few Chemiux out before the castle went down, but now his entire eco is exposed. And the production buildings are going to fall as well. So where is Mentalist? He once again got walled out, and the GG is called. Mentalist was never involved in this game. That was so brutal.
Getting walled out again.
He got walled out 3 times by Valis.
Man.
Like, honestly, there were Valis had a couple mistakes, right? Those Siege Workshop placements got really, really dicey, and it almost felt like he was gonna die. Like, if that first castle placement from Slam actually went up, we're looking at a different game. Because he stalled out the 2 Siege Workshops, and then he went for that really aggressive castle placement that would have killed a TC and taken away like 10 farms or so. And that could have been a very different story, but instead he was forced to replace it on that hill. It got trubbed down immediately by the Max, and Valesa just had the most nasty fish boom.
Yeah, it's nice in the back. I gotta say, Finland very fortunate with the spawn they got for trade. Like, no matter
That's
what,
true.
the
That
trade
is
would have
true.
been always very ugly with Canada. It would always have to come around this front portion of the bases, you know? So if either
Yep.
flank is pushed, you're kind of fucked. But
Yeah,
they
the
have
only
this beautiful trade line right in the back.
it's a very good point. Yeah, the fact that that pocket there on the left-hand side in the back is available to them.
Even if it didn't. And it's going to be Rubenstock and Red, of course, playing as Goths. Not a huge surprise. We're going to be Valis pocket. So it's going to be Magyars here, and it's going to be Frank. So I would say these were the two. I would say the two of the top three pocket subs you could potentially add on Chaos Pit. And then Valis is going to be in flank, and it's going to be Byzantine. Byzantine's pick isn't coming in, and it's not going to be for Team Islands. For Finland.
Well, I'm stuck on the load screen, so I'm just listening to you. I can see the civs, but it's taking a second for me to load in for some reason.
Potato PC.
I guess. I don't know, man.
We do have quite a bit of mirror civs, so you get Slam. He's actually Goths, he's on the opposite side as well. Chris is also Byzantines, and he's got them on the flank. So both teams using Byzantines and Chaos Pit. And then Mentalist has got Kimar, and then Hera's got Magyars.
Dope. I'm in. I'm catching up.
Everything looks kind of
Alright.
chill so far. Gosh.
Everything does look kind of chill so far.
It's not living up
But
to the
yeah,
name.
let's see. Well, there will be chaos soon enough. Let's be honest. It is interesting though. So it's kind of exactly what we talked about in terms of civs, where everything's matched. The only difference is Khmer versus Franks.
Yeah. And in a best of 7 with the kind of civ draft, I guess it's kind of likely it does happen. Relatively
But I
soon.
think it's also just the nature of this map. This map too. Like it is such a specific style of map, so you're very, very, primed to get similar approaches from teams. And at a certain point, like when they've exhausted all of their unique civs, they're playing the common civs. Like both teams are basically only playing from the admin picks here, right?
Yeah,
So you're likely to then
and
match up.
Canada having a tough time at the start. The difference in approach is quite astounding,
Yo,
to be honest, because you got
look at. Sorry to interrupt you. Look at the roaming death squad of scouts.
yeah, Mentalist is base. They're just
That's so scary.
yeah. So like Mentalist had to pull all the way back. He's now getting out there. You can see Chris is actually going for the inside wood line to Lumber Camp, and same thing from Hera. But all of Finland are on the outside. And they're even, like, Valis is even walling in his wood line with gates and everything already.
Well, I suppose if, one of your teammates is going to break through, you can then just exit there, right? So it makes a little bit of sense to me that Hera, for example, like as the flank player, is going to go for the wood lines that are slightly safer, slightly closer, and just say, okay, I'll walk through. Or, sorry, Chris. Chris is gray this time around. Chris is doing that, because he can just go through Mentalist wood line once he chops through, but...
So there is benefits going for the quicker one, of course. You get your lumber camp a little bit quicker, you're going to get the wood income a little bit quicker. So if you're going for the one that's a bit closer to you, see, it probably tells me you want to be up nice and fast, and you see Hera with that close lumber camp is up already with Magyars, and going to be on the scout numbers, and that's going to be his priority. And same thing from Chris, he's also up. So there's the benefit of going for the closer lumber camp.
What a ridiculous timing, too, for both of those players. We have the Max not terribly far behind, 2 minutes away as he just clicks up. And Finland definitely prioritizing walls early. Look at this. They're attempting a team wall.
Yeah, team wall, pretty meta on Chaos Pit. And you'll likely just fill in the gaps now with your stables, your ranges, whatever you're going to do. And it should be pretty fine. Might be awkward for both teams because Goths are also going to be on opposite flanks, and no stone walls for Goths in the end.
So yeah, wall's almost complete here for Finland. And honestly, I think their walls are a little bit easier to make.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Canada quite have the same coordination.
No, Mentalist doesn't seem to care. I mean, again, he's playing Khmer, so he's probably trying to get away with not building, you know, those military buildings that are unnecessary. But that also means that he's just not creating pieces of the team wall as a result. Here comes archery range for Chris as he reaches the feudal age. It's going to be a stable, of course, for Hera. Just now, a barracks coming up here for Slam as he's about to hit feudal, so he gets it just in time. A little bit of a scout engagement in the south, nothing too big. Spear on the way here from Chris, so that'll push the scouts away. He can finish that wall up. Feudal age flying in for each of our players. Stable now for Valis as well. Stable for the Max.
Yeah, and team wall's looking pretty good for Finland at this moment.
So good, but almost entirely complete at this moment. The 2 exits will just be under the TCs of the flanks.
Yeah, so if you do want to dive, you're likely going to take some damage. But honestly, for a Chaos Pit game, kind of relatively passive so far. Not being,
I would say no chaos yet.
Yeah, not being like the usual style of going forward to the lanes with Dushin. That seems to have kind of not been the style of either of the teams so far, so yeah. Let's see how it develops in the feudal age. Like, who's going to greed try to get up the castle quickly?
Well, Chris is now pressuring walls with villagers. And so he's forcing a tower up here by Rubenstock near the berries and the stone. So that's good damage already dealt, in a sense.
Yeah.
Looking to see where Finland goes with their army. Because Canada's still open for a bit longer if they can get units forward.
And Chris not really team walling to Mentalist at all. You can see Slam Hera getting it down. And there's Mentalist getting... Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
They've done it. They've probably maybe even noticed how Finland have done it. It's like, oh, yeah, we need to have this done as well.
Yeah, well, it's so much more important once your opponent finishes their wall that you finish yours, right? Because they now can just run all their military units forward and not worry. But ooh, tower dropped by Chris on the wall here. Gonna force some houses out of Rubenstock. And just wow, what a wild engagement in the middle of the map. I can't keep track of all of these units.
Towers against Goth are just so good because you can't stone ball behind it.
Exactly. Its houses are nothing. I've just got all these units selected, and you can see the rainbow of colors in battle here in the center of the map. And honestly, it's a pretty even fight just by health numbers as I keep selecting all of the military units.
Just drag over.
Exactly. Like, I'm just watching by the health and like, okay, Finland has a small health advantage in these militaries, and it looks like Canada is going to have to turn tail and run with those remaining scouts.
Max has a lot of scouts here. Mental is coming back over. I'm having a look at resources. No one's really taking their foot off the gas in production. Might just hit. Balance is trying to mass up some scouts now as well.
Okay. Blacksmith on the way for Chris. So he's going to be able to get fletching in, which will be much better for that turret. Tower, rather. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends recently.
You know, people are always giving you shit for calling them turrets.
I hate that people give me... I mean, I deserve it, but I hate it. I'm like, it's fine.
Fighting copium.
Okay, fletching on the way for Chris. Another stable being dropped here for Hera. So he's just going to continue to up his scout production with the Magyars.
Yep. They are cheaper. Got a good farm. Economy rolling now. Still got berries to eat through. Gonna be sick. You have armor.
Ooh, tower for Valis. With fletching in, these villagers are now getting ranged. Hasn't lost one yet, but he has to abandon the tower, and his stable is getting targeted. It's about to go down.
I think that's the bigger problem, is actually losing the stable at this point.
I mean, it's actually awful because then he has no production. He's the Magyar player, and he has 0 stables.
Yeah. Valis, it feels in some games, is just been a little bit off today.
He absolutely has felt off at times today. He gets the stone walls up. And so luckily he can stop the pressure for a bit, but he invested a bunch of stone into that tower. That tower won't be able to go up and now has to move on to stone. Still doesn't have a stable as well, so can't support his team with military any longer.
Yeah, I'm looking for some action on the outside. We can actually see Valis. Oh, no. He's going. Why is he going so far forward? I think he's going to go and try
Whoa.
and wall them in the wood line. And
Maybe.
both the villages are
Yeah.
going to get caught.
Yeah, both villagers go down to Mentalist scouts, and Mentalist will now be able to get those forward stone walls up. So as he's broken through, so has Rubenstock. Rubenstock just going for palisade walls, though, on his side. And the Max is also out. Just got a lumber camp up. Valesa's broken through. Oh, Slam has not broken through, and Valesa is there to wall.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't
Slam
delay
will
him.
just have to at least reroute units. Like, he'll have to run through. And since Hera didn't go to the outside, actually, the only way out is through Mentalist base.
Yeah. And actually, that's a beautiful tower from Valis behind, because he's going to just cover all of that region. And
Yeah, and with fletching, right, too, it'll just increase just enough to be really annoying for that region of the map. And so, well done by Finland to get a little bit of control there on the outside, but they're dealing with all this pressure through the middle right now.
And there is a lot of it, it must be said.
There is so much pressure.
That is a lot.
You've got a whole bunch of scouts, skirms, spearmen trying to push through. Valesa does get the tower up. So does Chris, though. And
If there's a hole at any point, they are in serious problems.
yeah, serious trouble. I would even almost want them at this point to maybe break those scout numbers up and just hit more walls, like different areas. Oh, there is a hole. No, never mind. Well, yeah, there is actually. It's by the berries.
Yeah. It's just Max running home. They are up. The cancellation now. Alice gets in as well, but he's only got one stable, I believe.
Mentalist is found the hole. Now the question is, did he see it, and does he tell Hera? Because if Hera runs in with 16 scouts right now, oh, okay, it gets housewalled. That would have been nuts.
And all of these scouts are just going to get upgraded to light cav as well for Hera. Like, he's not going to throw these guys away. Like, he can still get a lot of value.
Bloodline's on the way.
So I'm just coming with a forward cancel as well, Dash.
Slam's coming for a forward castle.
Love to see it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, again, I mean, I think it's interesting. Finland has definitely prioritized getting to the outside of the map, but Canada is looking to end it.
Ribbonstock being left to wall on the outside is just not ideal for Goths at all. One of you want to go for Palisades? Does not make it easy. Valis has dropped the additional TCs now on the outside.
I'd love to see Hera invest in armor.
Did they end up making a blacksmith, or did they just go stable market? I think he went stable market.
You're right. So he doesn't actually have a blacksmith. But yeah, this whole time I'm like, I would love to see, because he's got those 18 scouts. I would expect them to become light cav. It'd be great with 670 food in the bank, like to have that first armor upgrade in already.
Especially when they dive past like that part of the TC, but it has been walled off now by Bullet.
Yeah. But like 21 scouts about to be light cav, and we could have them armored up. But
he's gonna P-tar down. Flash needs to wall this super fast.
Just attacking the houses at the moment, and one of these houses is about to go down very soon. 100 health on it remaining, and not enough time to stonewall everything up. And so here comes the mass migration. The Max is just running to the outside, and then he'll probably wall up behind himself. Valis has actually completed a wall already so that Hera wouldn't be able to come that direction, and Valesa is doing the same thing, trying to wall behind.
This is funny.
Oh my goodness, but they might get away with basically no losses.
Oh, it's gonna re-wall, okay.
Okay, Valesa got the re-wall up, so he should be fine. And the Max also got all of his walls up. So honestly, really well done. Just don't open this gate now.
Yeah, opening the gate would be a complete disaster.
Shift
when you've
click
only got
back.
skirms, yeah. Get
Okay,
it
that's
locked.
fine.
Yeah, it's got it locked.
It is locked, and we're good to go. We're good to
I-
go there.
My biggest concern for Finland now is they are going to lose eco in the middle. You need to gain another corner for late game so you have trade.
Yeah.
Like, they only have...
Yeah, I mean,
realistically-
it's brutal just how many, like, farms they lost access to, right? That's 17 farms that Valessa had to abandon, and it's 13 that the Max had to abandon, so... While they didn't lose too many villagers, just having to replace that many farms is going to cost so much wood. Okay, Ruben got a castle up in
Castle
defense.
home. He does have a couple of stables on the right hand side. He's
Yep.
actually got some knights in the back here.
Alright,
But,
TC goes down for the Max.
There's a lot of gates, some Chris, and he will. He's not. He didn't know there's stables there. Okay, okay.
Well, so he gets a castle up in defense in the center, but here's the problem. Mentalist now has a siege workshop up in the south, and it looks like he's going to start pushing onto Ruben's stock.
Mm-hmm.
And so that'll be difficult for him to deal with. All of the players from Canada have now made it out to the outer ring on the southeastern side.
This is Ballas gonna boom into here. I feel like it has to be CA.
Ballas CA. You think?
Magyars.
Yeah.
Would be pretty sick.
Magyar Cav Archers would be nasty. I mean, you can also... Magyars have Paladin, no?
Yeah, yeah. I think you're maybe making... You know, there's probably gonna be Cav on the other side.
For Franks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Byzantines will eventually go into Arbalest. And then you just have Goths for infantry spam. Valessa almost up to Castle Age. He's the last one to make it there, so he's the one who definitely got hurt the most from all of that early pressure and having to relocate.
Yeah, and you're like in minute 30 and he's only getting to castle. He does have, in fairness, he does still have 52 vills. He's only got a minute
Yeah.
of idle time. He's actually got the least idle time out of everyone.
Right, he's only 3 behind Hera in the end. And while he may be the lowest Vil count in the game, you have somebody like Vallis, who's at 88. He's
Yeah.
been on 4 TCs for quite some time, so this Magyar player is going to be quite potent upon reaching the Imperial Age. He's walling up with stone as well behind as Ruben gets pushed. Ruben just now getting some pikemen on the field and another barracks up to try and deal with that push. But monks, knights, and siege is going to be a little difficult for only pikes to deal with.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit disappointed the Valley's done wall that for Ruben. It's too hard for Goss. You only get Palisades, you know? Like,
Right,
he
exactly.
should be the one coming forward. And now, like, Ruben's got 2 TCs and all the villagers are, like, all going to be under pressure now. Because your teammate didn't stonewall for you, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm wondering, though, as we see 6 archery ranges being dropped for Vallis, Vallis might just be able to get the numbers up to defend him with military in time, right?
Okay, ranges in the middle, see it now.
Yeah, all 6 of them right now. So he doesn't have any of his upgrades yet. Like, doesn't even have fletching.
Mm-hmm. But does have a eco, a big one at that.
Does have a big eco. And Valessa's going to try and catch up as he drops 4th TC. Let's see what else is going on here for Canada. Because Canada's still got a 30 villager deficit, but they have a 30 military lead. So that's kind of that's the difference. That's the trade-off here. What the heck, Rubenstock?
Yeah, I'm keeping eyes on this because this could be absolutely crucial. Now that he has a TC up as well, you could realistically maybe get to like barracks ban.
Do not show those knights yet. Don't show those knights yet.
Well, he's been trickling them in for quite a while now.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, I think they maybe don't know how many are still alive or whatnot. They don't see the TC back here, but if you can get like multiple barracks up,
Yeah.
I feel with this
Well-
TC, like then you're gonna have very good corner control.
Yeah, you had said get an extra corner, and Ruben's effectively done that, as Valessa also gets some nice stone walls up further forward on the eastern side. The siege push continues here for Mentalist, but he's going to run into castles now.
Double castle.
Here from Rubenstock, double castle, exactly. So it'll be 3 in total for the Goth player. Imperial Age is on the way, by the way, for both Chris and Valis.
Yeah, and for Chris, trying to get into Cataphracts. Don't love it. I don't know if he's making them just now because he has to, or what's his eventual game plan, but I don't like Cataphracts here.
You said you don't like Cataphracts?
Not at this moment, no.
No, I agree with you. I hope he's not building. I think he just needs to go Arbalest. We don't have range on this team.
Arbalest.
On this side. We have Cav Archers on the other side.
Yeah, like a Halb, Siege Push. Don't like Cataphracts, but he's still getting more of the armor. Again, Anarchy coming in for Slough now. Does he have any sneaky barracks anywhere? Doesn't look like it. But I think he's noticed this in the back now from Ruben.
Yes, he finds the TC now, chasing those 3 villagers away. Unfortunately, the Knight still makes it through over there. If we look in the front, Hera's kind of crept through with some light cav, and he's actually going to deny this castle for a short time from the Magyar player. Chris is coming forward to drop another castle, and he is going Cataphracts. I don't like that, though, because you need your castles to build trebs to start pushing your opponent's castles, but you also need your castles to build your Cataphracts, so I'm with you. I don't really understand the Cataphract play, but...
They're also super pricey.
Yeah. And you have a Khmer player right by, like, on your side. I don't know.
It's a weird choice to me. Oh, Chris is old school, man. He's a gamer.
He really is. He is a gamer. He's already got 1 Treb on the field. He's got another one on the way. And that's going to be difficult for Ruben to deal with because Ruben is not Imperial Age just yet. So his castle's going to start to get pushed back. But Mentalist is now desperately trying to stonewall up because his push is stalled out and the Cav Archers are pushing back towards him.
Okay, Max is an imp though. He's going to have decent Cavalier numbers very soon. Hera's only just clicked up and he's trying to mirror what Valis is going to do now. Which, he's 25 vils behind. He's going to be multiple CA behind. It's probably not a good sign when you're just playing catch-up at this point.
No, not in the least. But yeah, matching exactly 6 archery ranges for 6 archery ranges and doesn't even have any of those upgrades in just yet. Bracer's already in for Valis. Like, that's nuts. He's got 40 Cav Archers on the field that are nearly fully upgraded, and Hera's not even Imperial Age yet.
Yeah,
that's wild. Bloodlines, armor coming in now too.
They are just
Husbandry.
the stone walls as well on the outside, so they're not getting too much at this moment. And the Cataphracts are in the villagers at the moment too.
Yeah, Hera's gonna try and get a castle up over here on the left-hand side. Slam. He's siege towering over these walls on the right. That's a cheeky play. So some Huskarls gonna make their way over here to try and annoy Valessa.
That forward wall is great for Finland because it cuts off the trade that much longer. And you can see Valessa is thinking about Cataphracts, which does make more sense when you know you're probably going to be going into Slam. But Chris on the other side, he is not going to be going into Rubenstock and infantry spam.
I understand why the Max is doing it, but his market placements are hilarious. So he's got 4 markets, right? He's got the one that's actually on the edge. And then he just built 3 very randomly placed. It's so that when he builds his first initial trade card, it doesn't have to go as far.
That's right.
But, like, it's just so funny to me. Like, he didn't build all 3 of them together and close. He built it, like, just all over the fucking place.
Just wherever he had space for his bells, you know?
Exactly. But he's got Cavalier out onto the field now, being an imp. And we even see Fortified Wall now coming in from Mentalist because they are feeling the pressure here on the south.
Yeah, and look at the castles from Chris behind us now as well. Like, that is pretty huge. And the fortified wall comes in right at the moment the stone wall does go down.
Oh, brutal. But they're going to run into that castle fire, so won't be able to find too much more unless they want to run through, which would be a difficult run to make.
Alice up to 63 heavy CA. The Kara's just super far behind, and he's even going to go to skirms.
Absolutely gross.
Yikes.
Oh, skirms as a pocket player in a team game is got to be one of the worst feelings ever. Now, we do have an engagement in the middle of the map, so while there's a bit of a stall out as we hit those castles in the south, it's Chris's castle that's having to be repaired here while under fire by the Trebs of Valis, and Paladin now just completing and Blast Furnace on the way. The Max brings some of his Paladin over to aid in that push.
Okay, Ribbonstock needs to be helping out at the bottom side. Now, this might be a problem because somehow Slam has actually switched all the way down to the bottom side. Sees Cataphracts up in the north. He's like, nope, gonna be pointless. And now he's the one coming into the golf player on the bottom side for the CAR.
The good news is Ruben has forced a castle out of Mentalist in the back corner, and he still has basically taken all of that space, so trade hasn't been able to be started yet for Canada, while trade has already started for Finland. But Huskarl's now rolling forward here from Slam. Elite Huskarls at that. Blast Furnace about to finish for them. Again, they could run through these castles or even under castles and find some good eco damage.
But position, map control for Finland's looking very good at this moment. That castle got denied from her in the bottom. He had just deleted it. Looks like Valis is going to get a castle up in the north, which is going to cut off that trade line. And just no trade is going to be super, super tough. Or Canada, eventually, you know, not at this moment. You can see the gold stores are still looking pretty good. Slam is making a bit of a push in that at this moment.
Yeah, Slam's buying them a lot of space, and I think now that they've finally cleared up the forward from Ruben, they're gonna get a trade line established, kind of on the southeastern side of the map eventually.
It'd be huge for Finland. They lost game 1 in the neutral map, so they have to win a Canada home map if they have a chance to win in the series overall. So this is a great moment for them to take control.
Slam's going to try and put a castle up here while Valesa moves forward for another castle of his own. And Mentalist dropping another castle too. Yeah, space is tight here for Canada, especially as Finland is taking more control of the center.
Like skirms for Hera, he's tried to try and go for them to find whittle away on the CA mass, but
yeah, he's got recurve bow coming in now. And ring archer armor, but yeah, still just with regular cav archers, not heavy cav of his own.
And that's gonna careful. That's gonna be a lot of CA dead if he doesn't react.
Yeah, he is just face tanking a whole bunch of skirms, and this Mangonel is actually gonna take out the two Treb. Will the castle go down first, though? I think it might. Those final two. Okay, so the castle does at least go down before the Trebs meet their demise. But the pushback has begun once again for Chris because Valis sent all those cav archers more towards the center. And now the Trebs, Halberdiers, and Cataphracts are on the way.
I feel like the middle just isn't that important right now. For Chris to be doing a push here against Rubenstock's buildings. Like, what is it really achieving? Is the thing I'm wondering. You know?
Yeah, I don't think it achieves much. It maybe gets you some farming space back. But other than that, I agree. Your focus needs to be on securing a corner. And that way you can actually establish trade. Yeah, or at least get more control of gold, piles, right?
And on the outside, they're being pressured in both. You know, like Valis is coming in. Those Max, those Rubenstock with helps. Goliath is continuing to push up in the north. It just feels like prioritizing the wrong area of the map, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got 15 Paladin here in the south that are raiding, along with 24 heavy cav archers. And so a lot of eco goes down there. Valesa's broken through as well in the north and is dropping more castles and has siege rams. And he did actually end up transitioning into Cataphracts, but he at least has elite Cataphracts at that.
Yeah, and it's running into Goths for a large portion of the game, you know, so it makes a lot of sense when he was going for it.
Yeah, and now Valis is going to drop another castle forward. They're just, again, they're slowly constricting on their opponents, and while Canada fights back for the center, like you mentioned, it doesn't get them much.
Canada have 120 more military. Doesn't feel like it.
I don't even see it. Like, that's a really good point, but I'm like, where is it?
It just doesn't feel like it at all. So much of it's just trash. Hera did get some CA in the back here.
Hera has 64 elite skirmishers.
Yeah, and like there's 74 battles for Chris. But they're all just like in the middle. Not doing too much.
Yeah, and that's absolutely nothing when you compare it to 60 heavy cav archers, 24 elite cataphracts, 38 paladins, and 34 elite huskarls. Like,
those siege
just
rams
the units
pushing up in the north now. That economy lead's just starting to grow. Despite like no middle for Finland, they have a huge economy lead.
Yeah. Although again, like, Valis is taking somewhat ill-advised fights against big packs of elite skirmishers with heavy cav archers, so he is losing numbers, and one of Rubenstock's castles does go down, so this middle push is starting to achieve something because it's finally reached the outer ring, but Valesa's push continues.
Yeah, and
it,
sorry, Dash, just these Huskarls in the back. Did you see how many raids have been getting in?
yeah.
The Barrack's still not dealt with.
I mean, yeah, these 4 Huskarls here have 11 kills between them. This one here's got 3. You know, this Huskarl, how many has he killed? Oh, he just died, so I think it's a click of the time. But yeah, it's a very good point. Eco in shambles here for Canada, and they have to use so much of their military to just chase those Huskarls down, and so the push stalls out once again in the middle of the map, and Valesa rolls forward with 5 siege rams and elite cataphracts, 2 trebs, drops another castle. A tougher and tougher position here for Canada, and I have to assume there it is, the GG gets called.
They're trying to push through this bit in the middle, and it's quite easy to forget at this point. It's actually uphill as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's an even
Right,
harder push.
they effectively pushed the flatland portion, but then right when they were trying to make it up that hill. And then just unit quality, right? You're just throwing trash at gold units, and as long as you can keep producing the gold units, they will win out.
Yeah, and look at the trade numbers for Finland. 48, 31, 45.
That's nuts.
As long as you have 3 corners on this map and you have trade running, it's generally a matter of time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually unbelievable. 0 trade, on the side of Canada, and over 130 on the other side.
And after looking, man, how shaky did it look for Valis? And that like feudal age, you lost his stable, didn't have any numbers. Opens 4th.
Oh yeah, losing. Oh my God, when he lost that stable.
Yeah, it opens 4th TC boom, and sick.
Yeah, actually nasty. And well done by Valesa as well. I think was like played sleeper well because he took a lot of the damage. Right, he was the last person to Castle Age, but he got the cut to the outside. He blocked Slam off, which actually forced all of Canada into that corner. Right, because if Slam opens up that part of the map, then he and Hera would have gone out that edge, and they would have been in that corner instead.
Yep.
And so, like, quite literally, just because of one stone wall and a tower, Valesa forced the entirety of Canada into that corner, and then they moved to get those forward walls against them. Well played. Well played, Finland.
But if you also got addicted to alcohol, it can be pretty problematic, I will say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are worse things. So luckily, I'm only addicted to caffeine currently.
I guess.
We hope it stays that way.
Yeah. All right, game 6 in. Finland, Canada, going to Team Islands, Canada's home map. It's been a map they've got a lot of wins on. You can take a look at the civs. The civs are stacked for Canada. And essentially for Canada, you have really strong flanks. And then you have the pockets do their stuff on the landing. But the last time they played, they didn't go for the offensive landing. They actually didn't do any of that at all, which was a bit surprising, considering they got so much success with the double landings being huge.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds quite nasty.
So,
Well, we're gonna have plenty of time to just
take it in.
theory craft. Yeah. But let's see here. Civ wise, no real surprises, I don't think.
No. And Burgundians did end up coming in from Valisir. Use Backdog,
Yeah.
you can get Gilnets and Feudal Age, it's just sick. You're getting double backs just now as well, you know, like 3 minutes into the game. Just Burgundian eco's so damn nice.
Exactly. But then, yeah, Aztecs, I think, not a surprise when it comes to possible landing Civ.
Yep.
Monks, Siege. Portuguese, obviously a top tier Team Islands pick, and have Fetorias for the late game as well as strong water options. Sicilians for both teams and in a pocket position for both teams. And then the Vikings, though, I think is, that's kind of the ace in the hole there for Canada.
They generally do play quite defensive, but they don't need to do too much damage. But Vikings and Portuguese on flank is just two very, very good combinations for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you can even see it with their dock placements, right? It's like Chris is going for the slightly more conservative, side back dock, whereas Valessa and Slam are just docking on the front themselves.
Having see front dog from Hera tells he wants to go for Landon. He might go for the Landon for both him and Mentalist. Max has also got front dog here as well. And Sicilians are just so good going forward for the Landons because of the less bonus damage you take.
Right. Which of the new civs was the one that had like the free transport or whatever?
Sicilians did have that at the time.
They took it away, right?
They did take it away. They also had like
that's
this.
what I thought.
Had the huge like line of sight as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, fishing ecos are underway for all of our players. All right, Balloon clicks means Feudal Age is soon to be on the way. Hera will click first.
That's a nice uptime. He's gonna have a couple of fish behind it as well. Yes, house. So that second fishing ship is not coming out at this moment.
Is he building a house? Jesus, there it is.
It's
Okay.
up now. I wonder if anyone else is going to come and land with Max, or if Hera's going to be the only one that goes and land. Is it just going to be Sicilian players going for each other? Val is playing defensively. You can see his walls coming up already. It's very common just to have a scout player play defensive landing.
Well, since the Max wasn't housed, he actually is going to be the first with the transport out and already on the way. So he's going scout 2 Vils. Whereas the transport's on the way now for Hera, and it looks like Hera might be bringing 4 Vils.
Yep, so this is generally what they do. They commit 4 Vils over each side. You can see Mentalist got 4 Vils coming as well. He's going to run right into the landing here. Oh my god, don't show this guy. Don't shoot this.
He sees it. Eagle Scout, we'll see that.
Max noticed it, and he actually ran back. But now Mentalist runs into the barracks.
Yeah.
I think that was actually a little bit unlucky. Spotting that is huge.
Well, Barracks at least still gets up. And technically could build... Okay, but now, therefore, Mentalist is just going to drop a Barracks of his own right next to it.
You can see he's already committed to the transport ship, so this was not his original plan, right?
Yeah.
He wants to go forward.
Absolutely. Hera had built his barracks at home, so he can go immediate stable upon landing with those 4 villagers. Sir, finish that stable. Sir.
Bruv.
Hello?
Hera.
What did he misclick?
When is he gonna notice?
No. Well, he'll notice now because he gets an attack sign. Like, but what the? And now he's fighting uphill against the fucking tiger.
I've got the boxing gloves on.
I mean, he still wins it, but like, took so much extra damage there. Okay. All right. Like, salvaged.
And like this, the delay of the stable just gives Finland all that bit more time to get their walls up as well.
Yeah, the walls are near complete now for a number of the players. You can see Ruben's committing a couple more to get the walls completed. We have Valis finishing the walls at the back of his base, and Max will be done with his quite soon. Valessa working on his, but he's the furthest away, so has plenty of time. Stable is up for the Max as well on the other side, and a forced tower out of Mentalist because the vills were walled in. So might actually be able to kill these two villagers here.
Yeah.
And then the Max's push gets stalled out. He can just then you can wall up the stable.
I'm really interested by Mentalist's dog position. Because it's at the site. It's actually really close to Chris. It's not super safe, you know?
Right, yeah, he didn't put it all the way in the back. But also he went for a transport. So it was like...
Yeah.
You would have wanted it forward for the transport, or just use Harris transport, or go all the way in the back and be ultra safe.
And that's like the awkward thing. If you want to go transport and go back dock, you have to get it all the way around to the front. It just takes so much time.
Ooh, I like this move. Hera just adds a fire galley. Just one to send with Slam over to fight Rubenstock, because the fish is getting cleared up here
In the bank,
by
yeah.
Slam, and Rubenstock doesn't even have the numbers, but one fire galley will do so much work
And now
against
Valis,
any defensive force.
yeah, Valis is on to panic fire galleys as well. He's gonna have to hide his fish. He's up to cancel age, but it's 2 minutes away. Bless had a good opening against Chris Dock was actually delayed, but the numbers kind of evened out now, and it looks like Bless might be thinking about fire galleys on transition to castle as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oof. I do not like this. It's such a bummer that the Max's entire forward got stalled out. I think it was a really good response by Mentalist ultimately to get that tower up, walls in the entire stable, killed the villagers, and now that stable's entirely useless. There's
Nice.
one scout on the island that the Max can use to scout around.
Bit concerned. I'm not seeing anyone too close. Castle Age from Canada. Where's Velez? Gonna click up soon. Huge for flanking Chris. It's not really that close.
Yeah, Slam's actually not terribly far. He's floating a bit of gold.
Yeah, Slam could collect. It's Portuguese, of course.
But you are right. I mean, 600 food here for Valessa puts him kind of the closest. He just needs to get a little more gold in the bank. Hera, while his forward is still alive, hasn't found much damage at all. Just dropped that one dungeon, has produced 3 scouts, and since put his vills on stone. But I think he realizes he's walled out of any damage opportunity. Oh, never mind. There's a hole in Valessa's base.
Oh,
It's
man,
only
simple as
3
well.
scouts, luckily. But he hasn't even reacted to it yet, because he's microing the galleys on the front. He hasn't realized at all he's still microing galleys.
Dude, he has no idea.
Oh my goodness, this is actually disastrous, because he thought he was full walled. So any attack sounds he's hearing, he's not assuming
And
are going to be here at home, and he's full focused on that water battle. And if he pulls that focus to save vills, he's going to lose the galley war even harder, which he's already lost. But he
Oh,
just
boy.
lost how many vills there? 5?
At least 6 by the looks of it.
Jesus.
Which is pretty sick.
Oh yeah, those 6 eco kills on those scouts. And then he also lost a bunch of galleys on the front and is in danger now of losing his fishing ships.
And Slam's lighted up everything as well in water. These little
Why the
galleys
heck-
around the back.
Yeah, Slam even has 4 galleys on this side of the map. That's hilarious.
They're circled all the way around because they've taken care of Valis' fish, they took care of Rubenstock's fish.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And now Castle Age is on the way for every single Canadian player. Whereas it's only on the way for 3 of the 4 on the other side.
Yeah,
It's
Valis already in Castle Age, though. The boom's
Oh
going
yeah,
to start
there it
from
is.
him.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, Max is already about to put the other counter landing, so he's got 2 stables there. And shh. cannot see that at all. And that could be very sneaky.
Okay, knights on the field to help deal with those scouts, and we did finally... Actually, we haven't even finished the wall yet, so we have to make sure we do that. Immediate 2 more TCs being added here by Slam, and 2 TCs as well for Valis.
Yeah, so Burgundian's gonna have a sick eco. Slam probably feels really good about his position, so he's gonna open TCs. He's gonna have all this spare food, right? He wants to pump it in, because he's still got 7 fisher ships of his own, so he's got to spend that food somehow.
Mentalist has a good little force of archers here. Right as he hits castle, if he transports these across, 10 archers, soon to be crossbows probably, that could be really dangerous.
And Dillis going for TCs too. Max.
Okay, Max did get more vills forward. He got more vills forward, so he dropped 2 stables and now a monastery.
They send him straight out, or is he going to mass up a good amount of numbers?
I think he should mass and even drop a siege workshop. So I would say maybe 4 to 6 knights. He's actually only producing out of 1 of his 2 stables, annoyingly. There he goes. But yeah, I would say 4 to 6 knights with a monk and a Mangano. Start rolling forward. Hera has knights on the field as well, but Valis is dealing with those, and the walls are up still for Finland as a team. And so nobody's taking eco damage just yet. How many vills did Hera lose? Did he lose all but 1, it looks like, on the front?
The forward ones?
Yeah, I'm double clicking just this 1 vill. So I think he lost all but 1.
I think they're gone, yeah. He's losing buildings at home as well to Max, and not much of a reaction yet on the gold, and it's some nice picks from Max, and Finland have to make something happen here because there's Portuguese on the other side.
Those 2 knights have 6 kills for the Max. That's huge.
Sick. That is absolutely sick. And
that's disgusting.
Doesn't get in the wood line, can go other side. Oh no. This is really bad for Hera.
Yeah, Hera's getting absolutely destroyed here. He's going to lose at least 1, if not 2 more vills exactly, possibly 3 here. And through all that, just the forced idle time. Hera is completely off of wood. Does finally get another TC down on that gold.
It's really sloppy to be in Team Islands and not have any walls.
Yeah, it's brutal. And like,
it sounds crazy to say that, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, well, and Mentalist as well has no walls, right? And so he's starting to feel it now. One of his vills gets caught trying to place an outpost. On the other side, Hera's not getting any damage done himself because Valis was able to defend with knights. So it is crossbows, though, forward for Mentalist. So again, Mentalist idling a lot of eco here from Valessa. We have the war galleys now starting to work away on one of the TCs. So Valessa's under a little bit of distress.
As long as he doesn't put villagers next to these crossbows, which he is at this moment. Feels like they're just gonna try and boom up for a little bit longer. Maybe try and make use of some transitions to M. But Max
this
needs to
TC
do
is
some
melting.
damage.
Yeah,
It
this
really
TC
is.
melting.
Yeah.
And then the Max drops a forward TC too, so he really wants to establish a really serious foothold on this opposing island. Will create more villas and gets a nice monk pick, and he's even going to prevent this monastery from going up with these 2 scouts. Really well done by the Max there.
And picked off a monk as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, also, yeah, he's in Slam's eco. He got a couple Vil kills with those 2 knights. Those 2 knights have 15 kills. Okay, one of them just died, so it dropped. But between the 2 of them, they had 15 kills. That's disgusting.
Very good. And look at the knight force for Hera. How many knights? He has 5 knights there. How many kills do they have? 1.
Oh my god, yeah, that's brutal.
That's not proportionate at all.
No. No, and Ruben responds quickly. Walls behind those palisades. Now, Ruben is kind of in a tough spot because his wood lines are starting to get ranged by the navy of Slam. So he's going to start struggling for just space and an ability to expand. But Valis might help him with that by putting this castle on the hill there, making it easy for Rubenstock to start to move towards the middle of the island.
Yeah, and looks like Hera's gonna
worm.
Started to run out a little bit of steam here. He does get a couple of the knights converted. Only in 45 L's at home.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
feel...
worst eco in the game currently.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
By a wide margin at that. Now, granted, his teammates are making up for that fairly nicely. But yeah, if you just compare the two Sicilians players, that's really the major difference here. The Max has much better economy and a better forward.
Mags could be a problem. He's got enough. He's got enough villagers to pop a castle down. He's got enough stone, and he's gonna put one down there. And it's actually covering 2 patches of gold.
Yeah, that's and a bunch of wood lines. I mean, like, what a great spot for him to be.
Don't forget the wood.
Don't forget the wood on Team Islands, man. It starts to become so important. But we'll see. We'll see, because when we talk about wood lines, again, it is Canada that has the Navy, right? And so, like, I'm just looking at these, you know, the wood lines on the edge of of Finland's islands. And as the villagers chop closer and closer to the edge, they're going to get ranged by these war galleys.
Yeah.
And space will be tight.
The less... They'll add in more Vels he has. Yeah, but Rivenstock and Valis are up. So Valis should just be going into fast fire. Now, we would like to see some dogs at the front. But he might have to go for them at the back. And Rivenstock, I don't know where he's going to put his dogs.
There's already 2 players on the way to imp here for Finland. Yes, Chris is going to be the first person to imp. But I'm concerned because he's on water, right? So his Imperial Age doesn't even really do anything for them on land to stop this push from the Max.
Yeah, and it's kind of like how... Well, Chris doesn't have a castle. Also, Slam doesn't have a castle, so how do they... Like, even if they can't... Like, how did they kill this little landing from Max? That's, like, the main thing. Even, like, forgetting about his units, how did they get rid of the castle and the TCs? They're gonna have some struggles even doing that.
It's gonna have to be, yeah, Castle Age Rams or something, because, again, yeah, the people going to imp are not the players who can really help. While Slam actually, as Portuguese, did go Knights, so we are gonna see Portuguese Cavalier, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Shut the fuck up.
I just want to point that out. But yeah, it's gonna be really hard to get rid of this Sicilian castle, right? Like, he stole the stables and he's killing the monastery as well as the town center, but pushing the castle back is gonna be a different story altogether. And in the meantime, you've got 3 castles coming up at home for the Finland players. 1 by Ruben, 1 by Valis, and 1 by Valessa.
And he actually was going to go for the castle at back, Valis. He debated is now going out the front because he sees the knights from Hera.
Hera's finally in. For some real damage. So this is great to see and necessary to see. 10 eco kills on those cavalry units at the moment.
Finland are well still in this game, by the way.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it will be a struggle to push back now what is becoming a pretty sizable land force by Chris. Right? He's got 7 barracks, and he's producing rams as well out of 2 siege workshops. So pikes plus longswords, even before he makes or grabs any of the imp upgrades, is going to be pretty strong. He's also got cap ram completing just now. Castle at home here for Slam, as well as a castle at home for Mentalist, means they can finally bring Trebs out to start dealing with the Max's push.
Is he really thinking about it? Oh, he is. Oh, you got to time this. Max, no. He's got First Crusade.
Oh,
5. He's not gonna get it.
He's not gonna.
He's not gonna get this RTC, bruv. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, he cancelled it. Oh, he did. Yes, he cancelled it.
He did cancel it. Okay.
He actually cancelled it.
Okay, so he's got 3 TCs there and 2 TCs at home, right? Oh, that's brutal though, because I mean, like, while yes, he's gonna get more value out of it now, that is quite a delay. If he had timed it right. and it came in just a couple seconds later, he'd already have those. But let's see here. Imperial Jin for the max, but he's having to deal with pressure from two different players in Slam and Mentalist. Hera still pretty much out of the game, though, if we're being honest. Just has a few knights forward and is now starting to put docks up on the front.
Gosh, where did all these batteries come from, Chris? Holy fuck.
What? Oh, the barracks?
Yeah, look at Velez's island.
Yeah, I mentioned that like 5 minutes ago.
Hey, was there that many? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I said he had 7 barracks and 2 siege workshops.
Oh my god, man, there's just so much going on. Oh. Yikes. This is crazy.
Yeah, well, we do at least have a elite Custier over here. And Rubenstock back on water was able to wrap around.
Let's get good numbers. Actually, more than Slam at this moment. You can see Velez, just got Galleon. You could take water back. Still, at the end of the day, Canada have Portuguese.
Yeah, Trubs are starting to work on those barracks, though, so Canada's foothold on that island is about to disappear. But so is Finland's, as the max gets wiped up here.
Yeah, the landing is gone for sure. I love the castles coming in from Canada. You got the one from Chris right in the south. Gonna cover as much as he can. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
2, he's placed in another as well.
Yeah,
Great
they're
castle
really
placement.
nice. And then you have the one from Slam as well up in the north.
Yeah.
It's just so good for securing the trade.
Ooh, Mentalist landing as well and dropping a castle.
That is a nice castle.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Now, of course, one of the dangers of some of these castles that are being placed, like the one on the front of the island from Chris, right, is that it could technically be ranged by a Treb on Velez's plot of land. But he's focused right now on clearing up the barracks first.
And even cannon galleon. Sometimes it's just good to have the castles like back in your trade line, which no one really prioritizing yet. That's only in 59 vills actually. What the hell?
Yeah, Rubenstock has 48 galleons, though, fighting up against fast fires and galleons from Slam in the middle of the map. Alice thinking about transporting. He's got a bunch of villagers over here, plus hand cannons and elite Custier.
Oh my god, downslide. Downslide. In the south.
Oh! He does still have 3 villagers alive, so if they
moment.
can push this, push this military back 96%, I think he will get this completed.
Know your place.
But that did get sketchy there for a moment. And at least Veleza now knows that castle's coming up. He starts to rotate Trebs over immediately. He has 3 Trebs there, and with only 3 villagers, you can't repair that for very long.
No way.
So great find by him. Actually, 4 Trebs even now coming over.
Valis going for a landing of his own now. He's got some Costalier protecting, some more Costalier raiding. They need to make something happen, because if you want to go late game against Portuguese, it's just not gonna happen, I'm afraid.
Yeah, do we have any Fetorias yet? We don't.
We don't.
Actually, but we already have trade up, so we've got markets up, and we're starting to produce here for Canada.
Yep.
And a little bit of trade on the other side. I see a couple trade units there for the max, but the castle comes up for Finland. So once again, we have a launch point for an attack, but we're surrounded by castles as well of our opponents. Mentalist putting another one up there at the front of the island. Fight in the south. Castle goes down for Mentalist. He got 1 Treb out onto the field, but now it's just a lone Treb on an island.
We're getting into serious bolting territory right now, and Rubenstock got another castle up in the north here. But his galleon numbers...
Yeah, his
still
galleon
trying to deal.
numbers are
Dealing with
not...
fast fires.
Yeah, his galleon numbers are not bad, but he's got 1 less armor than Slam. So he's missing something.
Right, Doc, I think.
Yeah, that
Does
must
Try
be
Dog
it.
give you +1 Piers?
But like that'll hurt you
No,
quite a
it's-
bit
it's-
in the
it's-
long term.
It's Carrick, because you get an extra Pierce armor as Portuguese. It's a unique deck.
That's what it is. Okay.
Well,
But either way,
again,
yeah, that is gonna hurt you in the long run. And we do have elite cannon galleons out now for Slam. So we're gonna start to see castles fall as the water control continues here for Canada. Can
Yeah,
Valis hold on to this position? That's the question.
Canada are too late that in trade, by the way. Like, Slam, Mentalist, and... Well, Slam and Mentalist especially are kind of on their knees for gold. Like,
Yeah.
they need to have trade now.
Well, both teams are kind of have equivalent trade numbers, right? You just have a ton in the queue for. It's like Valesa's got 18 in the queue and Ruben's got 15 in the queue.
Yeah, Max, Velez, and Valis still have a shit ton in gold, right?
I guess, yeah, that
Whereas-
they haven't spent.
Whereas Canada do not.
True, just Chris and Mentalist have some.
Yeah.
Hera's strapped for it, Slam's pretty low. That's also why I would have liked to have seen a Fatoria or two somewhere in here, just for stone and gold trickles, but...
It's just better for your teammates as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, they can take the resources. Why... What is the need for Portuguese taking the resources, really, when they have infinite?
Yeah, it's a really good point. It's a really good point. Also, look at this, the Max donjon rushing from the back of the base
Oh my god,
with
that is sick.
with just a few elite sergeants.
The dungeons late game, if you especially get all the upgrades like arrow slits and everything, Bracer, they are super, super good. And of course, the fact you can put them up with sergeants just makes them so favorable.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's getting masonry, you know, all the techs just to make them that much harder to remove. And while one castle goes down, Valis is putting up a second one. Don't know how long that one will last though either, as a lot of the villages are also going down. Will it even go up? 98, 99. It's stuck on 99. No way.
Downslide.
99.4.
That is a big, big downslide.
Wow.
The ward shines down on us.
Absolutely brutal.
That's not a castle you want to delete.
No, yeah, because that's goodbye 650 stone right there. Let's see here. How's the water battle going in the meantime? Looks like all of Rubenstock's castles on the front of the islands got cleared up, and now Slam's trying to push down the western side. So it's just a galleon v galleon battle at the moment.
And more HP for Pierce armor for Portuguese, but the galleons for Saracens do fire a bit faster. So
True.
let's see. The numbers for both are very good.
Yeah, 57 apiece, essentially. In the middle of the map right now, it's galleons versus galleons out of Hera and the Max as well. So the two Sicilian players now just going at it. And Chris, though, as well, is starting to push back on the south. He does have 4 elite cannon galleons working away on the castles. And it seems like his navy is just stronger than Valesa's.
That is a nice addition. It's just so much cheaper for Vikings. You can just reinforce.
Yeah.
Look how many docks he has as well, even coming from the other side of the map. Well,
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Just pumping units out. He actually has 7 elite cannon galleons on the field in total. And he's even producing another. So, like, 8 cannon galleons are just going to start shredding buildings. And now the trade is under threat for Finland as a result.
I have to reposition the market, maybe. And yep,
There is a market a little bit further in the center, like closer to one of Valesa's TCs, so they just need to, like delete and start sending the trade units there. But even then, Valesa continues to lose ground. He's replacing docks, and he has great dock numbers. Ejects a bunch to try and win this fight, but it's 34 galleons against 50.
Why did it mix in any like fast fires at all?
Definitely. Well, the problem is that, right, wouldn't the Sicilians player be the one to do that, most likely?
Just mix them in front of like a bit more of a meat shield for your galleon, you know?
Yeah. It's just, also, I mean, yeah, you look at the front, though, or the center of the map, and it's Hera plus Mentalist against just the Max. Where's Valis? That's the question, right? Valis isn't involved in water, so right now it's a 4v3 on water.
He's also not particularly involved in land either. So
Yeah, he's...
not ideal. Things not looking good for Finland. We're kind of getting to this risky situation where it's very, very stalematy.
Yeah, it's starting to look scary for Finland overall, just because their space, like, again, losing water, they're gonna run out of wood and space a lot sooner, most likely. We do have 2 docks for Valis now, being protected by a bombard cannon, so he's thinking about maybe getting on water as well to help the team out.
You never want to be getting a stalematy kind of situation against Portuguese. This is
Worm.
this
No,
is
not-
this is Austria UK all over again. Did you
Still
s-
no Fatorius, though.
you
Still
see that
no
one?
Fatorius. Austria versus, sorry, whom?
UK.
No, I did not.
That was a 3-hour game fiasco
Oh, Jesus.
where Austria literally just camped their own island for like
Strap in. I don't think this one will go that long. I do think Canada is going to take this at this point. You see Slam, rather, has now landed with a castle in the north. And he's going to continue rotating around with his navy. And with those cannon galleons, can deal with the bombard towers. And just shorten the trade line even more.
yeah, and it's already been shortened in the south. The Elias has just lost so much. How many elite cannon galleons are there now?
There's 7
7.
there currently. Yeah.
That is nice.
Like, yeah, like what do they? How many volleys does it take to kill one of these bombard towers? That's 2 volleys, so it takes a total of, yeah, it takes like 2 volleys for them to kill a a bombard tower.
Yikes.
That's pretty nuts. And just a castle creep now for Slam. 1 castle down. He's looking to place another one, but getting pushed back at the moment with his navy, so he's got to be careful here.
Look at how many galleons from Bless now. He's back up to 52.
Blessed does? Wow.
Yeah, in the south, just the
Damn.
orange swarm.
Yeah, and actually, the Max replaced docks in the back, so now he can come over and help as well. So they might get the pushback mounted over on this side. Of course, they've lost the front to make that happen to Hera and Mentalist. And I'm still waiting to see how Valis is going to get involved in this game again.
Yeah, they're both at the front of your Hera Mentalist. Like, have they not secured enough room for oh, there is, there's barracks.
Yeah.
I was looking just at the wrong side where the navy is. They've secured the space now. I think like the landing is the best thing. Spamming champions I don't think it's a bad call, and Hera's gonna get villagers over here as well. What's Hera's stone count like? It's not good. If I'm Chris, I sling all the stone to Hera and
Yeah.
let him make dungeons or let him make castles in this trade line. Because you can't stop
I
them.
agree.
They just
I
go
agree
up.
wholeheartedly. Yeah,
just
there's
go
no
up
reason
instantly.
why the Viking player needs 1,800 stone at this point, right?
Yeah.
So definitely hand that off. Let Slam and Hera just kind of push in with castles and dungeons. But we'll see here, because the push continues on water for Finland on the southern side, and they are making some progress. It's Valis who's desperately trying to hold on to the land, but that's difficult for him to do. Just Coustier, and now Hera's dropping 9 stables and a castle of his own in the landing.
Yeah, I would have just loved the castle in the trade line, you know? Right in the middle of the island. Look at all that trade going further. It's not
Yeah,
overly protected.
well, this castle from Mentalist never went up, unfortunately. If that one had gone up and he could start pushing with Trebs through the Burgundian castles, then they could hit the trade line, right? But
Another down slide. 86% on that one. Castle goes
oh,
up
so many
for
of those in this game.
Hera, no, for sure. He's selling stone. Hera, not like this.
Oh, Jesus.
I guess he's just gonna spam Hobart Cavalier. He's gonna be happy with it.
Exactly. Exactly. He needs to get more of the armor upgrades, for sure.
Yeah.
He's only rocking the first armor upgrade at the moment and hasn't clicked the second. But he is up to 53 trade cards, by the way, with 12 more in the queue.
I think he's got the unique tech, but he's not got the rest of them. Which is kind of funny.
Yeah, he's producing them. Whatever. Send them in, baby.
Like, there's still 2+3.
You're right. Yeah.
That's quite funny. Oh my god. Look at all the
Oh, there he goes.
trades here.
He just clicked trade barding. That's hilarious. But yeah, the Cav dive in, and now they can just make quick work of the trade units underneath Castle Fire.
And Val is selling all of his food for 17 gold. Not a good sign.
No, not at all. Though the resources for both teams are interesting. You got tons of food for Mentalist, but no wood, no gold at the moment. I guess he has 44 on gold, but then you got tons of wood on the side of Finland, but no wood for Canada.
Very little. It's getting down to the bare bones now. Same thing for Finland, a little bit. Still only one Victoria for Slam.
Yeah, and look at the South. It's starting to get scary here for Canada. Yes, those fast fires are a good meat shield for a bit, but the combined forces of the Max and Valessa total 100 galleons. And they're going to kill all of these elite cannon galleons as well, because I don't think those were moved back yet. And pretty soon, yeah, it's going to become a wood game. And I don't see any wood here for Canada.
Not a lot. Can he stop this Cavalier push? From Hera.
That is a good question. Well, Hera has 6 on food, so you just have to live long enough that he runs out of food.
Look, Mentalist can just sling him. He's got 6k. Easy.
That's true. I mean, that's fine. But, like, I am worried that while Hera's getting a lot done right now, eventually he's just not going to be able to produce.
Oh, +4.
And there's way better resources on the side of Finland, so if they can just live. But that's the problem right now, right? They've lost a lot of the space on their own island. Their trade's getting raided. They're dropping some villager numbers, but their villager numbers, they still have 100 more eco, by the way, than Canada.
Yeah, they've got 100
I know
more military. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's really tough. I know that some of that's probably the Portuguese, but how many Feitories we at now? 3? 4. We're building the 4th right now.
Yeah, building the 4th. Nice.
Okay, that's going to be helpful. Would have liked to have seen that, right? Like 20 minutes ago.
Hera's selling wood, bro. What are you doing?
No, don't sell wood. No. Look at Hera's resources now.
Oh my god. Has it all been cleared?
They have no
numbers
wood.
Are still decent enough.
He's just transitioning all of his zills onto existing farms, but he won't be able to build any more farms after that.
Now, there's Zillions coming clutch with the crop rotation if you have it. He doesn't have crop rotation. Max actually has it. You have the double farm count, of course, the foot count.
Yep.
He only has heavy plow. Actually, this is actually a game where it's important.
I actually think Finland's gonna win this game now. This is insane. I thought they were dead with the landings, but they've cleared up Mentalist forward. Oh my god.
Well, Mentalist sent more. That's 32 bells. He's actually taking the wood. That's funny.
Okay, that's good. That's actually a really good play. Right? Take the wood away from your opponents, as well as grab it for yourselves. He's still selling food for gold, and he's trying to toss champions and elite eagle warriors in to continue to disrupt the eco. But Rubenstock's doing a good job of just holding Slam off, right? Keeps the trade alive, even though those castles are there. And it's all the Max and Valessa now on the other side. They do need a way to push castles themselves. And finally, Valessa's got some elite cannon galleons. He's got 4 of them. So they'll slowly be able to work away on this island. But
I'm waiting for Rubenstock to make use of these 9 heavy demos that are just there as well.
Yeah.
They're just hiding in the back. They're like, what is in coach?
All right, Hera can at least still produce for a while. He's up to 3k food in the bank, and he's got so many trade cards that gold is not going to be the issue. And he's still finding some good kills, but just taking straight-up fights against Coustier at the moment.
And the important thing for Coustier, they just might go back, they wait for the charge attack again, and then they can just come back in. That's like,
Yeah.
that was just doing the right thing. Just Mike going back. You're gonna wait for the charge attack. At least try and get back up.
Okay, here's a scary moment. Look at this. We finally have some organ guns as well with Mentalist here in the trade. Like, the Cusier coming to clean it up now. But I've just realized that, like, Rubenstock doesn't have an existing eco.
He has trade, then he has a navy. That's all
Right?
he
But that
needs.
also means that, like, look, he's got no vills on wood. So
Yeah.
when that wood runs out, like, that navy is all he's got.
Like I always like wood and gold at this point. You should probably funnel into trade.
Yeah, well, and the scary thing there, right, is that, like, he's going to run out of wood, but Slam with Vitorias, to your earlier point about Portuguese and the longer the game goes, how valuable they are, like, Slam will still be able to build Navy.
Yep. I really surprised that Slam didn't go for the Victoria earlier.
Very, very much so. But at the very least, he's got the 4 of them now, right? Hasn't added any more. Nope, so just he's got the 4 Vitorias working. GG called.
Thank
wow.
God.
Canada
Thank God.
is victorious. So they just realized we're out of resources. They've got Portuguese on the other side, and the push stalled out for the Max and Valesa. They couldn't get these castles down in time. And Hera had just enough to get over the hump in terms of resources to spam, because he has 0 wood.
It was a shaky game. That was a shaky game from him, though.
Yeah, super shaky game. I'm amazed. Yeah, when his eco was half that of the Max's at the midpoint of the game, oh man.
Game 7, baby. Let's go. Gotta love it.
Woo! Going the distance.
Deciding game dash.
Let's go.
And we're going to Arena. Finland's home map. And man, the lineup in terms of serves for Canada is absolutely sick. And Galleys on flank, Poles in the pocket, Humans in the pocket, and Turks on the flank. Struggle to find a better 4 than that. That is just unbelievably good.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Civs available here for Canada, and we did get what we expected on the other side, though, or at least what you had called out. You had said that Rubenstock had done it right, the Slavs on the flank, but instead this time it will be Valesa who handles the Slavs, and Aztecs on the other side for Rubenstock. But it is that Slavs Aztecs flanks, and instead Bohemians and Teutons go back to the pocket.
So it looks to me like both flanks might try and play like a fast kind of play, and not like try and not die. And you're gonna try and make sure your Teutons get to your. They might go Paladin, but they could just go Hal Bezo, and the Bohemians are like we're just gonna go Hal Hufnitze.
Right.
And you're gonna try and get that pushback, you know.
Hufnitze definitely the primary goal of the Bohemians player. Now we've got Hera and Chris in the pocket positions, playing 2 of just like the best pocket civs, right? You know, Pole's economy is absolutely disgusting on Arena, plus the ability to go to Castle Age by going onto Stone if you so choose. And then Cumans being able to go fast feudal into a second TC and get a massive villager lead early on in the game. And you can see how much Chris is prioritizing getting to feudal age, because no lumber camp yet, using stragglers to get to the wood he needs for things like a mill, already bringing in all of his hunt as well.
Yeah, double bore, 3 deer already.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
he's still gonna need the lumber camp to click up, but
yeah, he'll need the lumber camp and or a mining camp, right? But like, yeah, this ordering it this way, he gets his vills onto berries even faster. There goes the lumber camp, so he'll be able to click up soon after that is completed.
I'll be interested to see what kind of click up time does the castle more than anything else. Like all the top players, you know, the ones the more regarded pros. Viper like to play a lot of humans on Arena and the pocket. It's like the 16-minute mark. Because you should really be aiming for the quick to castle age. I'll be interested to see if Chris can manage the same.
Now on the other side, you said that the Slavs flank strategy a castle age push.
No, it was just a fast
Or
imp monk defense, and I think that makes a lot of sense against Turks as well, because they're gonna be prioritizing some Jannies. You can go stone walls. It's likely gonna be like a fort. You probably let them have the forward castle, right?
mhm.
I guess
Oh
you still
man,
have
that
gold in the bulk, but the gold at the front is not good for Vles.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, that is an awful gold to be up against a Turks player.
He does have the stone. He does have this pile of gold in the back, but
Yeah.
it could be problematic.
Yeah, but yeah, both his main gold and his other secondary gold, right, is outside the walls, is also forward, and so definitely going to need to get a castle up of his own. And if he does manage to get one up near his walls, he can protect that gold entirely. Otherwise, he'll have to place it more defensively. So that'll put a big focus on the castle age timings. Rubenstock, you can see, is already kind of doing a house wall towards the TC, just in case he gets any early pressure.
Yeah, and the golds are not good for him. One
No.
gold towards
Oh.
Slam, not ideal. I don't know if Slam doesn't strike me as like a castle drop kind of guy though. So
No, though Bengalis is definitely a civ that could do it, but no, I don't see him as that either.
I also don't see him as like a monk kind of guy. So I don't know what Slam's gonna do on flank here. Like, whenever I think of Slam, I just think of a boomer, you know. But he's up on 22 pop. Or 23 pop, should I say? Let's see what he does do.
Mhm.
I'll be interested. It just looks like does just look like an FC to me.
Yeah. Well, Chris hits feudal age, sends 8 vills to go build that TC on woodline and extra gold. So he'll start building a nice vill advantage, but we've got a few more players on the way to feudal age, all behind that.
And no traction in this one. What a shame. The Les is going for the stone now, so it looks like he does want to go castle defense. And he's not clicked up to fuel yet, so it's looking more and more clear that it probably is going to be a fast imp play. And same thing for Rubenstock
Same
as well.
thing for Ruben, right?
He's
Yeah, I
not
was
clicked
like,
up yet.
holy crap, man. Both these guys are going to go fast imp play. Wow. I mean, you know what? I love how strategically different both teams are going to approach the last game, you know? I think this is going to be very cool. I mean, the nature of having humans obviously skews the matchup already because of what they can do in feudal age. But yeah, the idea that we're going to have two flanks here going fast imp and looking for treb pressure most likely against kind of more traditional arena play out of Slam and Mentalist probably.
It looks
where
like
they'll go
Kara's
fast
going to
castles.
go stable market. It looks like he's going to play for relics here as well. Stable market?
Stable.
The
Market.
Yeah.
There
'Cause
it is,
he's
yeah.
probably going to need to sell 100 wood because just the stone income's so low.
Yeah, you usually sell just a bit.
But he's done the math. Wait till you see the market come up and he's going to get like 70 gold. It's just going to be just over, so it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
There'll be no hassle.
Beautifully done, and he'll have precisely as much food as he needs as well. Also, building all of his buildings as close to the town center as he can to leave room for the full works.
I appreciate that a lot.
Very necessary. I love it.
This is always an issue I have. Players that play poles and they have the muscle memory from the beginning and putting the houses in and then putting all the buildings everywhere. It's like, precious full workspace. No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we know that Canada knows that fast imps are on the way.
They got it. I mean, you see the uptimes now, we're in minute 13.
Yeah.
They should all know it by this point. Like, oh, if they hadn't noticed, like, they're still in Dark Age, now they shouldn't be like, oh, so that's what's going to be going on.
So the question is, how do they adjust, right? Because, I mean, or whether or not, maybe they've known this the whole time, right? If they've done their research, they would maybe know that Slabs was played this way and have expected it from the beginning. But I'm curious how our two flanks here for Canada ultimately deal with their understanding that fast imp play is coming, and they can't necessarily match it evenly.
It wouldn't be a big surprise for Mentalist to go for the forward castle. I guess this fast imp play, there could be a bit of a risk that Chris, if Celeste does get opened up, like humans could overrun. And honestly, maybe Poles could overrun as well. Anyway, you know, like
That's a definite possibility, right? Like
hmm.
you run the risk. The risk is that if you go forward with the castle and you're not successful in killing him, he hits imp and then he kills your forward castle, right? And now you're a Turks player without Janissaries.
Yeah.
So you have to, I think, get damage done if you go for that. Otherwise, you build an ultra defensive castle, knowing that you'll just be later to imp. But I think the Turks player should still try to get to imp off of 1 TC. Slam has chosen to go 3
Know your
TCs
place,
as
warrior.
Bengalis, which makes a little bit more sense due to the nature of that civ.
I actually really like it. I actually really like the additional TC choice. Kind of seeing how late the uptime was from Rubenstock. And like all the best options for Bengalis are late game, and you need a lot of eco to get there. They're very slow civ, unless you want to go for monks, of course.
Right.
Which up against Aztecs and they have Teutons there is not really going to be an option.
Now, Rubenstock's resources are looking fantastic for the fast imp.
Look perfect for it.
But Valesa's a little bit behind in the food, it feels like, but it is slab farming that's at work, so that might change here quite soon. Still have to get the buildings down in order to go up.
So my question here is, where does Rubenstock go the castle in the end? He might try and get... I think he may just go siege monk at the moment. Maybe use those buildings and then try and move out and then get the castle. But I think Valet should probably always go castle. Especially with that gold.
Yeah, there's the castle
Yeah,
for
it does go
him.
castle hole.
But he goes with a very, again, like a pretty conservative castle. He hasn't seen anything from his opponent yet. But chooses not to try and go, in front of his main gold. Instead, guarantees that it'll go up and he can get to castle or into imp.
And Mentalist is mirror, and he's going monastery. He's workshop. He's going to go past imp as well.
Okay, perfect. Wow.
So
And
3
yeah,
players going past imp. Pretty sick.
Yeah, that's dope. And Mentalist and Rubenstock are on the same timing. Valesa's going to be a little bit behind just because of the castle. And still needs a bit more food. Could go ahead and sell some stone, buy some food. Not stone, wood rather.
Era, good economy working at this point too. Does he have enough for a castle yet? Doesn't.
All right, there's the castle for Mentalist. And he places it aggressively.
Yeah, it covers the gold, which is nice.
Covers both golds, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's in a nice spot for Valais, so you can just pop the trebs out in the back, but the issue is going to be the bomber cannons.
Yeah, instant bombard cannons for the Turk player when they hit Imperial Age. On the other side, Slam is going to be castle still when Imp is reached here for Rubenstock, and Rubenstock is going for a castle now, plus a barracks. I'm worried for Valesa. He's gonna hit Imp a whole minute and 15 seconds after the Turk player, and like you say, it's gonna be Trebs plus bombard cannons.
He really didn't have the timing good for the and the farm seat, like in comparison to Rubenstock, who's up already. Like a minute and 20, like you wouldn't expect that Valais is going to be the one that's actually kind of lagging the team at this moment.
Exactly, yeah, and he just didn't have his castle up in time or anything to actually get the click. He's, let's see, running 5 villagers, it looks like.
He's getting ready for the worst. He's going to go take the gold, though, from Valis.
That's good. Like, I appreciate that foresight, though, too, right? Like, just get some vills to safety as well. Although they're unloomed, right? And one of them is about to die.
Yeah. Maybe more if he's not careful.
Yeah. I was gonna say, he might lose one more, maybe not, because he's actually fighting back now. He's lucky that that scout has no upgrades.
Okay, Ribbon gonna come with a treb now. And this is the risk with the fast imp play when Hera's gonna be on multiple TCs. He's got multiple stables now. He should just be able to overrun something like this from Rubenstock.
Yeah, that would be the goal, right? He's dropping more stables right now, up to 5. And he's already got light cav on the field. So those will make quick work of the monks. Some pikes in support, but not many for Rubenstock.
Redemption for Velez, the left-hand side, but feels like that castle is going to be a lost cause. Honestly, be a
Yeah,
miracle if he keeps that castle alive.
Yeah, redemption plus block printing as well, but that's the thing. You need redemption and you kind of need block printing to really be a threat to those bombard cannons. And even without the bombard cannons, the trebs are going to bring this castle down.
Yeah, and the castle's just in such a good spot.
So, what can Valis do? That becomes the question. How can Valis help? Because the castle goes down in just a moment, and only one treb came out during that process. It's 3 trebs on the field for Mentalist.
Doesn't have a lot of options. It really feels like this is the only thing he could do. It just takes so long to get to it. And it's still only just in process, you know?
Yeah, but Halbs too, right? And it's like the idea of having to go Halbs into Janissaries is an awful feeling.
Yeah, as long as you have some sort of meat shield, that's the main, the main benefit.
I
I
almost
can see
wish.
it. There's not a lot of Jannies out in the field actually for Mentalist, like a very because of the fast outplay. He's only got
Yeah,
4.
there's only a few, but I assume he's gonna produce Janissaries now because 3 trebs is enough.
And Velez is
So,
running.
yeah, he's good that he's running. I'm actually a little surprised that the Max is bringing stables up on the right-hand side. I know he wants to support Rubenstock, but again, I'm a little concerned that the whole top side of the map is just gonna collapse in a moment.
I guess Max wants to do damage, and like Teuton like cavalry line should deal with poles pretty handedly, especially if you're open cavalry yourself. Like, I guess there's still an option if he does get the good cavalry numbers, he can still run in and do some damage and slam as well. But he's already an imp. Alb's going to be on the way from him.
He's an imp with a much better eco. Rubenstock's push got stalled out. We at least have, 6 stables already producing and a 7th one on the way here for the Max. And he has Cavalier now clicked, still waiting for that 3rd armor upgrade as well. But Valesa's base is falling to pieces, and there's still quite a few villagers that are locked in here. And this would be devastating eco damage. And he'll be out of the game for a very long time.
Yeah. If the Vels at least kind of get most of them away. Economy lead's starting to look good for Canada, plus 40 now.
Yeah, he runs as many as he can, but they run into the open arms of the awaiting light cav over here.
And they're Cuban light cav, they're just so good at chasing down.
Yeah, Valesa has 36 eco units at the moment. Rubenstock only has 44, so not much more.
And there comes Shlakta. Shlakta on the way. Eric put up 3 knights before it even came in. That is, think of the marginal gains there.
Yeah, Hoofnitsa finally coming in, but it's still 2 minutes away from arriving. And again, during all this time, Valesa's just been on the run, losing villagers. Slam's been continuing to boom with the 3 TCs and is Imperial H himself with crossbows and halberdiers already to respond to the Cavalier and Monks.
That is a lot of helps. Like, Slam can just toss him away and just get crossbows behind it as well. It's pretty nice.
Yep. He's got a pretty condensed base, which means that the TCs actually will provide decent protection along with the castle. So there's no easy opportunity to dive there for Finland.
Well, let's just listen more bells at home. Up in the top left. No.
Yeah, admittedly, Hera, still in Castle Age, isn't that much of a threat yet, right? Like, he's pumping out knights, absolutely, and he's dropping tons of farms. Like, he's going to be scary very soon. But just now getting the 2nd armor upgrade, that's kind of been one of the saving graces here for Finland, is that Hera isn't yet, like, at full imp power.
Gonna be 77 Bulls farms.
Oh my god.
And that is a lot.
That is disgusting. Yeah, 68 on food right now. Far more than anyone else in the game. And Chris as well, right? Just now getting activated. Has Cavalier on the field. We've got the Halbhufnitze, though. Out here, so...
Cavalier time is a bit... feels late from Chris.
Yeah, and actually he's only getting plate barding right now.
Yeah, it just feels... it all feels very late.
Oh, Paladin for our Teutons player.
Yep.
Like, think about this. Hera still is not imp. He's just, like, he has a crap ton of stables. I think he's got like 15 stables. But he's just producing Castle Age Knights right now. There will be Paladin on the field 2 minutes before Hera's imp.
And even when you do get the Imperial Age, anyway, like Shlagda, you get the Cavalier, you get the Blast Furnace, like, cool. Your opponent has Teuton Cavalier, and... it's, sorry, Teuton Paladin with extra melee armor. It's gonna be...
he's getting Blast Furnace too in a moment as well. Can the Max carry this? He still is fighting big numbers disadvantages, like in the center of the map here, right? But Paladin have so much strength. They are winning out on that fight. It's Ruben, though, who's getting pushed now. Castle about to go down. Monks running into their death. Unfortunately, I think a misclick there as he tried to get something done.
Yeah, Castle going down could be huge. No artillery yet from Mentalist. There is Siege Engineers already in for Palace, so that could be big. That could be very big, honestly, if Mentalist is not able to get artillery.
Wow, Mentalist just lost 3 Bombard Cannons.
Yep.
Yes, Valis lost 2 of his Hoofnitz in the process, but he at least has 4 more behind that. He might be able to get a push going here with enough Halb numbers to deal with the Cavalier. Would love to get that castle finished as well.
I can't believe what I just saw. Chris clicked Paladin, deleted it, and then clicked Heavy Step, Elite Step Lancer.
Oh,
He clicked Paladin and then went Elite Step Lancer.
interesting. Well, there's the Lancers, and he's, yeah, for some reason putting more value on the Lancers. They are a little bit better at dealing with Halbs, and then obviously raiding if they ever get in.
Yeah, if you have them like in a really big like choke point, they can be pretty damn good. Archers, if you have like decent numbers, you just shred them as well, but all kind of depends on the numbers.
Yeah, Mentalist is getting pushed back now officially. Like, this castle position under threat, he's losing his trebs to the Hoofnitze. He does have more Bombard Cannons out, so he's looking for the trades.
Max has Onager as well now.
Yeah.
Not any other siege, which is a problem.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Ruben has 7 monks to his name. That's like the whole of his military forces right now.
And he's
gonna lose.
This is part of the issue with the fast imp play Zari. It's so frail, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Hera now finally getting his upgrades in, right? At least he has Cavalier in and Blast Furnace. Doesn't have the final armor upgrade because it's not available to him. So again, the Teuton Paladin's far superior.
Look at him wreck.
And they wipe up these numbers, but he has to keep the momentum rolling. He just has to start taking space and buildings along with it. Mentalist, though, continues to lose ground. Step Lancer's trying to come in and snipe the Hoofnitze. Will the Halbs be microed? They will. Only one Hoofnitze goes down.
They're so fast.
They're so fast.
They're so good to just get into the Nitsa and just be like, doink.
Well, so that justifies the Elite Step Lancer click, I guess, right? Is it's more about maneuvering around siege and things like that. We also have Winged Hussar out for Hera.
Yeah,
fantastic against siege.
Got the unique tech as well, which is just huge. That trample damage is massive.
The trample, yeah.
He's even adding monks of his own now.
It's an interesting point in the game, though, because it kind of feel like Finland does kind of feel like they're the ones pushing, but without Valessa, and so at some point that momentum's going to shift when Hera's impact starts being felt more, which I think it finally is. Raids by the Winged Hussar up in the north.
So many economy units ahead here. The Elite Step Lancers, though, get absolutely wrecked by the Bohemian Halbs. I think Elite Step Lancer is a very, very strange choice. In general, like, I don't know, like, you click Paladin and decide You know what? I'm gonna go elite step here. Feels like a bit of 5 edge, you know?
Yeah, quite possibly. The Max, though, completely stalled out and wasn't able to get that castle up in the middle. Winged Hussar continued to prevent that one from going up.
There's so much eco to ahead at this point, you know, they can just... Should be too much to overcome.
5 trebs for Chris coming forward. I think this is going to be a bit of a killing blow here, right up the center of the map, targeting one of Max's castles, as well as Valus's castle. And he'll have the elite step lancers behind all of this. Finland's about to lose a lot of positions. Through all of this, of course, Valesa trying to boom back into it, but even with 4, now 5 TCs, he's only at 57 villagers.
Wow. Yeah, and the elite step launchers are now raiding him as well. He's not even been allowed to get back into this game.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Oh, and the step lancers, they're gonna get into the gate because the trade cart's
no.
opened. And so
That's a
now Valus
disaster.
and Nico. That is actually a disaster.
And they're so good for just hitting on Vels. They just look how many dead Vels are already. They're they're so good for Voodoo.
18 elite step lancers in this eco, and they have, or 16 now. They have a combined 31 kills, and that's only rising by the second.
The Blind Hussar closing in
Oh my
on the
God.
DC on the left-hand side as well, and they're all just gonna die so quickly. Trample damage when they get close.
These elite step lancers, there are only 13 remaining, and they've killed 50 eco units. 55, 57. It just keeps going up. That's so nuts, man. They've gotten so much value. Yes, Valus was able to get a forward castle position, but it's starting to go down as well, and he's not going to have the eco soon. Look, he's got 4 on food, and he's got no food in the bank.
Yeah, it's gonna be over here. And I guess why go paladin? You can go step lancers because you can.
Because you can.
Because you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it. Yeah, they took a gamble with the double fast imps, right, and it didn't pay off. They didn't get enough damage done with those Imperial Ages.
And Canada even getting trade in a little bit now, having everything prepped, guilds, banking, all that jazz. Artillery for Mentalist as well now, so you should be able to push back the Hoof needs a little bit more of that 1 extra range. Should be alright on that left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, it's just total and brutal domination.
Yeah, the Winged Hussar just laying waste to the eco of Rubenstock. So once again, one of the players who needs eco the most is just losing everything. The GG.
And GG
is called, and Canada takes it 4-3 and move on to the finals.
And that is going to be huge. Move into
That's
the grand
massive.
finals with that 1-0 lead. Will it be a rematch with Finland?
Woo! Spicy series, GG.
It's spicy indeed. And man, Canada got to be pumped right now.
I'm willing to bet. I'm sure Dave is also popping off too.
I don't even want to think about it.
Wow, what a marathon.
I think if there's any team, I think this will be a good eye opener for Finland. Like I can see them putting in a lot of prep now.
Yeah, quite possibly. Let me go check. I gotta go to the Wikipedia here. Because this, who do we have remaining now?
So it's going to be Brazil, China on Thursday.
Yeah, and then winner plays Finland.
Correct. That's right.
Gotcha. Okay.